Hello, everybody, and welcome into Cox Mill High School here in Concord, North Carolina, as we get set to see some more SCBL action against the Lake Norman Copperheads and the Mooresville Spinners. My name is David Katzenmeyer, accompanied by Zane Metz today, as we thank you for joining us on this beautiful Friday evening. Zane, how are you feeling about this game getting started here today for the first time back at Cox Mill in 2 weeks?
Yeah, it's felt like a long time since our last home game. Super excited tonight. A lot of playoff implications in place, and the Copperheads have arguably their ace on the mound, Phoenix DeGiacomo.
Yeah, Phoenix DeGiacomo getting the start tonight, one of the strikeout leaders in the Southern Collegiate Baseball League.
Yeah, DeGiacomo third in the SCBL. So far this year, 19 inning pitch with a 4.73 ERA and 31 strikeouts, 2 wins. And that 4.73 ERA really doesn't tell the story. He had one bad outing, ran up that ERA, but every outing ever since, and before that, he's been lights out.
He has been. I mean, he's been wheeling and dealing so far this season, and he's been a sight to behold. Is that fastball, while it doesn't top out as an extremely high number, that fastball is something that really pumps by these guys, especially when it gets down at the eye level. So his main pitch, throwing that fastball, has a couple other pitches, I believe. Does he have a curveball and a cutter?
Yeah, three-pitch mix with that fastball, the cutter, and the slider. It's kind of a slider slash curveball.
So the Copperheads come in today sitting at 10-8 in the SCBL. The Spinners sitting atop the standings at 13-5 as we see the last warm-up pitch, and Blake Jackson, the right fielder, will lead things off for the Mooresville Spinners. Getting the start defensively for the Lake Norman Copperheads. We'll start from the left side and move around. Number 24, Luke Wood, makes his home appearance here for the Lake Norman Copperheads as he has recently joined the ball club. So he'll be starting in the hot corner. The shortstop, number 4, Ick Serino. Peyton Schubert getting his first start for the Lake Norman Copperheads as another new face gets his home debut. He's starting at second base. And rounding out that infield will be the first baseman, Jackson Taylor. Behind the dish will be Andy Schultz as Phoenix DeGiacomo gets things started with the first pitch fastball down low.
Yeah, and I'm super interested to see how this Lake Norman infield plays tonight. You know, it's late mid-season, but this infield getting this first reps together.
DeGiacomo looks in. He'll fire the second pitch, and that's a fastball that misses just a bit too high. So the count runs 2-0. Blake Jackson, one of the spinners that had gotten the nod to go up to Lynchburg and travel for the SCBL team that played in the showcase game against a couple other leagues. He has the start in right field tonight. Now DeGiacomo, 2 fastballs. And now breaking pitch leaves us at a 3-0 count. And that one catches the bottom part of the zone, gets his first strike of the game. The count moves to 3-1.
Yeah, and I'm super interested to see how DeGiacomo starts his night. A lot of strikeouts, but also some walks at times, so he needs to ring those in and when he's on. As that one is low for the first walk of the night, but we'll see if he can control those walks.
So Blake Jackson heads over to first base as the leadoff man is on for the Spinners as the shortstop Brandon Butterworth will now dig in from the right side.
Number 14, Brandon Butterworth.
Brandon Butterworth, following his teammate, is another guy who was able to make the trip up to Lynchburg for the Southeast Prospect Showcase, and boy, did he put on a show one day, going 3 for 4 with a pair of walks. Had a fantastic day in day 1 up in Lynchburg, and he's been cruising ever since he's been back.
Yeah, and this Spinners lineup has really been flying as of late. We'll see if they continue it tonight.
DeGiacomo gives the nod, fires, and that one's going to be down in the dirt. So count stands at 1-0. Butterworth sets back, digs back in. The very front edge of that batter's box. DeGiacomo's going to turn and fire back, making sure Blake Jackson isn't going anywhere. As Jackson, he's got a big frame, but he's also got some speed on the base paths.
And I'm super interested to see how manager Sean Stevens will have this lineup at the back end of this year. There's been a lot of rotations so far, but you have to imagine he has his playoff lineup kind of set in the back of his mind. Obviously, some changes to come.
Copperheads electing to go for a 9-batter order today. The Spinners running with the extra hitter, so they'll have 10 guys up in the order. James Hinson, the first baseman, stands on deck. DeGiacomo delivers home. And that's a fastball that's just a bit too low. He's danced around the zone, but he's had some trouble finding it here early. Jackson and Butterworth, not guys you want running around the base paths with how much speed those two hold. The 2-0 fires home, and that one catches the outside bottom part of the zone. Nice location from DiGiacomo, and he's got his first strike of the at-bat. Quick check over to first. Now he'll give the nod to Schultz. And another one misses too far down in the dirt.
Yeah, DiGiacomo just dancing around the strike zone. And we've seen that with a lot of Lake Norman pitchers this year. Maybe the first couple of batters dancing around and then get their control.
Not too big of a lead from Jackson out on first. The 3-1 home will be ball forward just a bit too low. That's 3 straight fastballs that just missed under the zone for DiGiacomo. So 2 5-pitch walks now led to runners on first and second as the left-hander James Hinson digs in for the Spinners.
Number 15, James Henson.
Feel like I'm a broken record, but Hinson, another one of those guys that was able to make the trip up to Lynchburg, and that just shows you how star-studded this Spinners lineup has been this season and how good they've been. There's an off-speed from DiGiacomo that misses just a bit too far outside.
And you obviously see the reason why they're in first place in the SCBL standings is that great lineup. You can go 1 through 10, and all those guys can get you big hits.
There's a fastball that rings in on the inside part of the plate, so Phoenix able to even up the count at 1-1. The designated hitter, Tyler McPeak, standing on deck for the Spinners, hoping to come on in a big situation for them. The 1-1 home is a breaking pitch drawn too far inside. Good job by Schultz to get out of the squat and make the stop.
Yeah, Schultz has been very active early on and being able to keep everything in front of him so far.
The catcher out of Campbell University getting his work in early. 2-1. Big hack from Hinson, as he was a little bit too far out in front of the off speed, and the count evens up at 2-2. Take his time, dig back in. DiGiacomo with a quick look down to second. Now he'll fire home, and that one slips off the glove of Schultz. Both runners will move up to third and second respectively, so the Spinners have the go-ahead run standing at first base with nobody out in the first. So Blake Jackson down on third. Brandon Butterworth down at second. And now a full count pitch on the way from DiGiacomo.
Make or break pitch here very early on, loading the bases with 0 outs, and then runner at second and third with 1 out. Completely different ball game how you approach the rest of the inning.
Shakes off the first 2 pitches and then agrees with Schultz on the third. The payoff pitch fouled off down the third base side over the screen. That'll head next to the parked cars out there. Still have not had a car hit so far this year at Cox Mill High School, which is a bit surprising for how many cars we've got parked down the left side just off your screen. But none so far, praying that stays that way. The payoff pitch once again, and similar spot, more towards fair territory on that one, as it'll drift just out of play, and we'll try the 3-2 once again.
And I feel like DiGiacomo was kind of hesitant to throw that breaking ball. We've seen him shake off the last 2 pitches, electing to throw that fastball. It seems like he just doesn't want to walk the batter.
That breaking pitch is missed on the outside part of the plate to the lefty Hinson multiple times in this at-bat. And that one's going to be put in play. Coming over to field is the second baseman. He'll fire over to Jackson Taylor as Peyton Schubert gets his first action for the Lake Norman Copperheads and records the first out of the inning.
Yeah, very hard-hit ground ball right there, just unfortunately right to Peyton Schubert.
So Blake Jackson will come in to score, so the Mooresville Spinners get on the board early as they lead it 1-0 here at Cox Mill High School, as Tyler McPeak, the designated hitter, steps in from the right side as Brandon Butterworth stands 90 feet away down at third. First pitch is a fastball that misses a bit too far inside and pops out of the glove of Schultz. So a couple of those have kind of slipped off the top edge of the glove. DiGiacomo with that fastball, so much velocity on it. If it's out of place by a bit, it's hard to keep it in the glove. Nice off speed as it just misses outside.
Very close miss by DiGiacomo right there. That's a pitch that they really needed.
A little bit of hesitation there, but either way, the count now moves to 2-0. One away in the inning. Brandon Butterworth standing down on third base. This is going to be a fly ball out to Jeremiah Guzman in right. He'll make the play. Brandon Butterworth coming home. The throw will be not in time as Butterworth sprints through standing up, and the Spinners have a 2-0 lead early in the first.
Got a great job right there, just doing your job, getting the run into home, and we'll take an out if you get a run if you're the Spinners.
So the base path's now empty. However, the first 2 walks come back to bite the Copperheads as both of them come across to score, as the catcher Davis Turner now due up in the 5 spot for the Spinners. So infield shaded pretty regularly. Luke Wood coming in to stand just off the infield grass, as DiGiacomo now works with nobody on. First pitch just misses outside, as he's hit that spot multiple times, and it's been very, very borderline, but just needs an inch or 2 more to get it in the zone. Breaking pitch slides up high. Count now runs 2-0. 2-0 the Spinners lead as their first 2 base runners come across, as Phoenix DiGiacomo trying to work out and keep this run advantage at 2 for the Spinners. That's a foul ball from Turner, so that'll account for the first strike of the at-bat. Blake Jackson and Brandon Butterworth both walked to get us started. They advanced to second and third on a pass ball. Jackson was able to score on a ground out, and Butterworth was able to score on a fly out, or a sacrifice fly, rather. 2-1 home. Just misses the zone once again. DiGiacomo's dancing all around it.
DiGiacomo's been so close so many times and just having some calls that he really wants back.
Shake off a couple, give a smile in towards home, and a swing and a miss on the 3-1. Nicely located pitch on the outside part of the plate that's able to ring up the count full.
You can see why he smiled when he got that sign right there. Really wanted that pitch and executed it very nicely.
The 3-2 home. Breaking pitch missing just a bit too high. Showing his frustration, smacking the glove there. He knew he wanted it, but it missed just a bit too high. So 1 runner on, 2 away. The extra hitter, Jeremy Green, now due up. Spinners rocking their teal tops with the tan and black accents across the middle. Copperheads in their all whites. Quickly working home on the first pitch is a big fastball swung on and missed. Standing on deck if needed is the second baseman, Steven Smith. He'll hope he has an opportunity to move these runners up, if not score anybody. Spinners looking to rally here on 2 outs. Throw home, and that's going to be a bouncer down to Luke Wood. He'll fire over to second, and Schubert will catch and make the tag on second for the 3rd out. Spinners get 2 in the top of the first. We'll see if the Copperheads can answer when we come back here from Cox Mill High School on the SCBL YouTube channel. Welcome back to Cox Mill High School as we get set to start the bottom of the first inning, as we'll get a look at the Lake Norman Copperheads as they have the shortstop Ick Sereno, the second baseman Payson Schubert, and Luke Wood, the third baseman, due up in the bottom of the first. On the mound for the Spinners is Luke Osteen. Davis Turner catching for him behind the backstop. The first baseman, James Hinson, lining the right side of the field. Stephen Smith, the second baseman. The shortstop, Brandon Butterworth. And the third baseman, Dante Franco, line out the infield for the Mooresville Spinners.
Yeah, Ick Sereno leading off for Lake Norman tonight, and you can see why with his average .310 with 4 RBIs and great at drawing walks as well, 8 base on balls.
Sereno has been slowly working his way through the lineup throughout the season, getting the starting spot here. As the second baseman, Payton Schubert, stands on deck. We'll see what he can do in his first Copperheads appearance when he faces Luke Osteen. First pitch he delivers is just outside of the zone, and the count moves 1-0. Second pitch home is barreled and drops into left field just in front of Hunter Bryson. So a leadoff knock for the Lake Norman Copperheads as Ick Sereno standing on first base as Payton Schubert gets his first appearance for the Lake Norman Copperheads.
The second baseman, number 8, Payton Schubert.
Yeah, and the Copperheads very excited to see what Payton Schubert can do. A late addition to this ball club, but we'll see if he can make a big difference late season.
Osteen working out of the stretch now. He'll look in home against Schubert. Left-hander, first one he sees is right back to Osteen. They'll fire to Butterworth at second for one, and they will get two as Hinson's able to pick that one out of the air. And a very nice double play turned by the Spinners, and quickly Sereno's single is eradicated and nobody on, 2 outs for the third baseman, Luke Wood.
Yeah, and talking about late addition to this Lake Norman Ball Club, we have Luke Wood out of College of Charleston going into his senior season. And it's a great start so far, 12 at-bats with a .333 average, 2 RBIs.
A 1-6-3 double play. You don't see those too often. Osteen, first pitch deliver home to Luke is just a bit inside.
For Osteen, it was just kind of a look what I found moment, just right back to him, and easy double play. He has to do the work, but he'll take it.
He did a great job collecting that ball in his glove as well. As that pitch is skied, Hinson shading under it. It's called off by the second baseman, Stephen Smith, and the Copperheads are very quickly down 1-2-3 in the bottom of the first. We'll see if the Spinners can advance their lead as they lead it 2-0 from Cox Mill High School, as we'll be right back for the start of the top of the second.
And welcome back here to Cox Mill High School. Phoenix DiGiacomo out for a second inning of work. Allowed 2 in the first inning, but trying to stop the damage here. As leading off for Mooresville is number 9, Steven Smith. Up this inning for the Spinners is Steven Smith, second baseman, batting 7th. 8th is Hunter Bryson, a very familiar face to Lake Norman Copperheads fans. And then Dante DiVincenzo batting 9th, and will end off the inning possibly. So the first pitch of the second inning will go for a ball. That one skied up over the screen and will land into the concourse. Luckily, nobody was injured on that one.
We got some goofballs up in the press box today.
1-1 pitch from DiGiacomo. And that's a nice curveball right there, line to the shortstop, and it bounces up, and he cannot get there. A good rip by Steven Smith, but Ixarino, just a hard bounce right in front of him. Nothing he can do there. Great velocity off the bat.
Yeah, that's a tough play with how hard that ball's coming at you, especially with not knowing how that's going to bounce off the dirt. We've gotten a lot of rain here in Concord, and so the field is very, very soft, and the dirt is just it's just a little bit different in response to how it's been so far this season. So we've seen a lot of guys when they were practicing both on the Spinners and the Copperheads that it was just the balls were just taking different hops, and so they weren't as used to what they had been playing here all year. And so with those taking those different hops, it's a lot harder to field and a lot harder to judge it, especially not being able to go by muscle memory.
Well, and this year we've seen a very hard field, especially in the outfield, and that's a big contrast to what we have tonight. So we see DiGiacomo checking on the runner Smith, 1 runner on. He deals. That'll go back to DiGiacomo. Bounce over his head. Ixarino will come in. Will he get there? Yes, he will. A good play by Ixarino, charging after that baseball. And the fielder's choice right there will leave a runner in scoring position.
So one away with Steven Smith standing down on second base as Dante DeFranco comes to the plate in the 9-hole.
Yeah, batting the third baseman, number 3, Dante DeFranco.
Once again, the Spinners using that extra hitter. So the 10-hole hitter, the center fielder Justin Fox, standing on deck. Blake Jackson, who had a walk in the first, in the hole.
First pitch of the at-bat will be in the left-handed batter's box for ball 1.
But talking about the field conditions a little more, I was out there taking some BP earlier as that one misses outside. I was catching some BP out in the outfield, and just the difference today with how the ground is reacting to the baseballs is completely different. It felt like earlier in the season with how hard this turf was, the ball almost sped up off the turf at you. Today it's almost dying as it hits, and some of the balls, if they landed just inside the infield, were barely getting to where the outfielders are positioned.
So DiGiacomo missing on his first 3 pitches of this at-bat. The contrast to what he's had so far in the inning. A lot better than what he had coming out first inning of play. As we do have a pretty good turnout here at Cox Mill High School. That's what comes with the Spinners in town.
Absolutely.
And that one just misses outside for ball 4. And DiGiacomo just not having calls his way tonight. But he'll have to deal with 2 runners on. And the 10-hole hitter, Justin Fox, playing center field for the Spinners.
Yeah, we saw a conversation between DiGiacomo and our home plate umpire tonight. I think just trying to get a little more clarification on where some of those pitches in the first inning were missing. So still having some of those frustrations as we see runners on first is second, and the first pitch home to Fox is high and outside.
One of the pitch from DiGiacomo, that's lined down the third base line, but foul. So the count will run to 1-1.
Currently 83 degrees here in Concord, and temperature dropping. Should end the night somewhere around the mid-70s. Sun shading from our left as it is a beautiful night for baseball, and DiGiacomo finds his second strike of the at-bat, now moves to 1-2.
And there's the calls right there that he wanted on those outside fastballs. Finally got one, and very well placed. So DiGiacomo, pitchers count 1-2. That one just misses low, and the count will run even 2-2. So 2 runners on, 1 runner at first, 1 runner at second. 2-2 count. Giacomo deals that one. That slipped out of his hand, and good job by Andy Schultz back there, blocking it up and saving the runners from advancing an extra base, but Giacomo will run the count full 3-2.
If you have any questions at home for us or anything you'd like to ask or mention about the game, please drop it in the comments. We always love the fan interaction here.
And Giacomo finally gets a call tonight, as we saw Justin Fox heading down to first base, having a little discussion with the home plate umpire, but that fastball catches the inside part of the plate, and a much-needed fastball right there from DiGiacomo. Now he'll have 2 outs in the inning. And we see a lot of crucial pitching from DiGiacomo. Full count pitches, some going his way, and then right there going. Some going his way and some not going his way, but got that fastball right there.
So the first pitch to our new batter, Blake Jackson. Misses just outside. DiGiacomo finds himself in another 1-0 count. Jackson accounted for the first run of the game and also led things off with a walk.
1-0 pitch to Jackson. That one is low and inside for a ball. So Jackson will be up 2-0. Two-0 pitch to Jackson. That one is low, and DiGiacomo in danger of walking Jackson for the second time tonight.
Trying to dance around the zone, trying to pick spots in the corners, and just hasn't been able to find the location or get the calls that DiGiacomo's been hoping for. Needs to pipe one down Broadway here.
And that one will be fouled off towards the Copperheads dugout, and a much-needed striker right there from DiGiacomo.
And you can see Blake Jackson was sitting on a fastball there. He was waiting for something right down the pipe, trying to just hammer out into right field. But DiGiacomo choosing the off-speed, a little bit of a slower pitch, gets Jackson a bit too far out in front and leads us to the 3-1.
That one in the dirt, and he will walk the batter on the 5th pitch of the at-bat. And that will load the bases for the oh-so-dangerous Brandon Butterworth. Butterworth walked the first time tonight, but DiGiacomo can't afford to walk him again right now. Bases loaded, 2 outs, and a very crucial pitch very early on in this ballgame. As we were saying earlier, Copperhead's a little low on pitchers right now, so you can't have DiGiacomo struggle early and have to bring pitchers in earlier than expected.
Not at all.
As that one is low, especially in a game oh so critical than it is right now, as these two teams fighting for that number 1 seed. And that 1 seed is going to get that first-round bye. That even makes it even more crucial to get that first seed in the SCBL playoffs.
The big stat line to note for DiGiacomo so far is 5 walks to 1 strikeout across 11 batters.
And that's more like it what we've seen so far this year from DiGiacomo. A sweeping slurve right there for a strike. So Giacomo evens up the count 1-1. That one not as effective as the last pitch. It misses outside 2-1.
You can see he's got a big smile on his face just from how the game has gone so far. It's just one of those, like, oh, you got to be kidding me type things.
That one popped up in center field. Kyra Strawson tracking back, and he will get under that baseball for the 3rd out of the inning. So DiGiacomo gets out of a bases-loaded jam, and the Copperheads still down 2. We'll be back here for the bottom of the 2nd inning at Cox Mill High School. And welcome back here to Cox Mill High School as Andy Schultz will step in. It's 4-5-6 up due for Lake Norman. As that one misses low, you have Andy Schultz, Jackson Taylor, and Jeremiah Guzman up in this inning. As we see Luke Osteen out for a second inning of work. Went 1-2-3 as that is a big hack right there from Schultz. They got fooled by that slider.
He had a smile on his face after that one, looking back at up at us after kind of almost. He was like laying off it, kept his arms extended, and just kind of came around like a golf swing.
That one high and inside for a ball.
So we'll see if Osteen can repeat his success from the first inning. Went 1-2-3. Sereno had a single. Schubert grounded to a double play, and Luke Wood ended up popping out to end the inning. It was a very fast part of the frame.
Yeah, and that's what we like to see sometimes. Is sometimes the innings can be 30 minutes, and sometimes they can be 5 minutes like they were last inning. Osteen needed a strike right here. 3-1 pitch. That one fouled off, and the count will run full.
Scholl, the dangerous hitter out of Campbell University, not a guy you want to let get into a hitter's count. And a nice selection there from Osteen to draw the foul ball off the screen.
Here comes the full count pitch from Osteen. That one low and inside, and Schultz will take his base. And Jackson Taylor will have a runner on to play with.
Second straight inning, the Copperheads have had a runner on first base to lead off the inning. We'll see if Osteen can draw the same fate as Peyton Schubert when he came up for the second time in the inning.
Yeah, Jackson Taylor's been red hot this year for Lake Norman with a .364 average, 12 hits, 1 home run, and 9 RBIs, and he had a 2-hit game against the Spinners last time and looking to replicate it here tonight. That one popped up, and that one is in the gap. And tracking back and will drop as some miscommunication between the left fielder, Hunter Bryson, center fielder Justin Fox, and then Brandon Butterworth. As that was just kind of a hard place to judge it, right in the middle of everything.
That was that's the definition of hitting a ball in no man's land right
Yeah.
there. You got everybody coming on, and Butterworth is trying to find it over his shoulder. You've got Bryson coming in and Fox coming in, trying to find somebody who's going to make the call, and eventually kind of falls in a small triangle with everyone standing 2 feet away from the ball.
Yeah. So up is Jeremiah Guzman. Guzman tonight playing right field for Lake Norman. First pitch of the night he will see is a ball. Guzman so far in this SCBL campaign with a .206 average, 1 home run, 7 RBIs, and another 2-hit game the last time he played the Spinners. And Austin will miss again, so he'll be down in the count 2-0.
That's another pitch that Turner is set up on the outside part of the plate, and if he were to be set up central or on the inside part of the plate, would have a very good chance at drawing a strike with the right framing. But where he's set up, it's been hard for him to get his body back.
As Guzman will foul that one off. And just an update for people at home, some players tonight for the Lake Norman Copperheads. We've seen some pitchers depart as we saw Ian Askin. Looking to go to the MLB draft, so best of luck to him in the draft, and hopefully he will move on to the next level and do very good there. Ari Gordon also leaving the Lake Norman Copperheads, and the 2 position players, Dario Asadillo and Connor Pfizer. So we wish them all the best of luck, and we'll see some new players coming in for Lake Norman as well.
Yeah, it's just something normal with summer league ball, especially as the summer starts to wind down and these guys are getting ready to go back to school, trying to get back home and spend some time with some family or even get set up to head up to school early to do some workouts with teams and all that kind of stuff. So not something uncommon to see, so we do wish all of them the best of luck.
And that one almost clipping the inside shoulder of Jeremiah Guzman, just gets out of the way, and he will be up in the count 3-1. Runners on first and second, and in danger of loading the bases here. Osteen will get the sign. 3-1 pitch. That one fouled off to the screen. And we will see a full count pitch from Osteen in the second time tonight.
I love the pitch selection on Guzman. Give him the fastball high and outside. Try to get him to chase at something. And even if he gets a barrel on that, that's going to be a hard ball to try to put in play deep. Very nice pitch selection and location from Austin.
So Guzman runs the count full 3-2. That one is a strike 3 right there. And Osteen rings him up looking, as that was a cutter, just started at shoulder and swept into the zone last second.
He hasn't brought out that breaking pitch much, but
Yeah.
man, when he did, that had some wicked movement on it at the end. I mean, the last 10 feet of that moved, it felt almost a foot in the air. I mean, that was some dramatic movement on it, and even Guzman, you could tell, at first thought he had a walk and then realized that clipped the zone.
So now Ivan Zambrano will step in the right-hander's bass box. Runner going, but he will foul that one off, so he'll have to return back. Zambrano out of Eastern Florida State College going into his sophomore campaign. And again, some work here in Lake Norman. A lot of players from the Florida area in Lake Norman.
Just shows you the talent depth and where all these guys have come from to come play in this organization.
Osteen will fire that one in, and that was very reminiscent of the strike 3 call he had last time. Just a nasty cutter, and we'll be up in the count 0-2.
He's feeling that breaking pitch right now. I mean, he's feeling on the righties, he's feeling on the lefties, he's feeling that location right now. As that has been some fantastic movement in location on the last 3 pitches we've seen him throw.
And Osteen will decide to step off and look back at his runners. As if you remember Andy Schultz over there at second base took off running the first pitch of the AB, but had to return due to a foul ball, so we'll have to watch out for him.
And don't be fooled by Schultz being a catcher. He's got some speed.
Swing and a miss, and Osteen gets back-to-back Ks. One looking, and then right there, one swinging. So big number 13, Kyle Whitaker, will have to step up with 2 outs and 2 runners on. And Whitaker, a very dangerous man, especially when he gets ahead of in counts.
Yeah, we've seen Whitaker already hit a few at Cox Mill High School, and with the wind blowing out towards left field and him being a pretty good pull hitter with some of the fastballs that ride inside. Like you said, I mean, you could say that about a lot of these guys, but this is one of them where if he turns on it, you're not getting that baseball back.
Yeah, only a 159 average with those 7 RBIs, just showing how dangerous he is when he gets one in play and one far, as you see him foul that one off. The key for Whitaker is really just getting ahead of counts. When he gets down, we see him strike out a lot. When he gets up 2-1, 3-1, he's really a dangerous man.
I'd like to see his statistics when faced with a 2-0 count rather than an 0-0 count and what he does from there, because you're absolutely right. The average doesn't spout to how good of a hitter he is when he's up in the count.
Well, I don't think we're that advanced here. I don't think point trick is that advanced that we have those statistics.
I don't think it is, but I'd like to know
Yeah?
what it is, because I feel like it would be just a drastic difference of number.
A whole different player, probably.
Oh, yeah. But then again, you could say that about a lot of guys sitting with a 2-0 count, but it
Yeah.
feels like anytime he's in a 2-0 count, he's finding his way on base somehow.
Schultz will be going. That one is high and fired down to be over. Oh, what a great jumping play. And the runner will be safe, so both runners in advance. A great job right there by DeFranco over there at third base for the Spinners, jumping up and showing off the hops to get that one. And just not in time to fire it over to second base, so both Andy Schultz and Jackson Taylor will get in to their respective bases. So Whitaker, a 1-1 count and 2 runners in scoring position.
That saved at least a run. That was a fantastic jumping effort from DeFranco down there. As if that ball would have gotten over the head with how the field is playing, that would have kind of stopped in no man's land, even with Jackson tracing on.
And that one right off the light pole that Whitaker hit right there. Perfect placement off the light pole and then into the top of the batting cages.
Check that Bryson Knott, Jackson.
Yeah. But now Whitaker down in the count 1-2, as we were saying earlier. We'll see if he can battle back here. A great opportunity to score 2 runs and tie this ball game back up. And a swing and a miss from Whitaker. So he will leave 2 runners stranded. And the Spinners will keep their 2-0 lead. We'll be back here for the top of the 3rd inning for some more SCBL baseball action.
Welcome back to Cox Mill High School as we get set to start the top of the third inning, as the first baseman James Hinson is set to lead things off for the Mooresville Spinners, who lead it 2-0 as they look to extend their lead in the top half of the frame. Phoenix DiGiacomo back out for his third inning of work. And the stat line we were talking about last inning is those 5 walks to 1 strikeout for the guy who sits third in the SCBL in strikeouts. First pitch is a fastball in the dirt. Good job from Schultz picking that off.
Yeah, we've seen DiGiacomo just great job getting out of jams tonight. Has gotten himself into trouble, but been able to get out of it.
Those first 2 runs coming at the hands of Blake Jackson and Brandon Butterworth, who were the 1 and 2 batters. Both of them walked and eventually made it around on a fielder's choice and a sacrifice fly. The 1-0's fouled off against the screen. So with those 2 runs, still no hits for the Spinners. So count evens up at 1-1. DiGiacomo looks in and fires, and that one's going to clip Hinson like just on the shoulder pad, so he will take his base down at first, and for the 3rd straight inning, the leadoff batter is on for the Spinners.
Now batting for the Spinners, the DH, number 29, Tyler McPeak.
The designated hitter, Tyler McPeak, comes on for Mooresville. Had a sacrifice fly RBI out to right field in his first at-bat as he brought home Brandon Butterworth. First pitch from DiGiacomo is a nice off-speed that slides in the top outer part of the zone.
And we've seen DiGiacomo be iffy with that curveball, sometimes locating, sometimes not, but when he does locate, it's beautiful to watch, especially up here, great view.
The 0-1 moves 1-1 as that's a fastball that's missed down low. That's been his primary miss so far today, with that fastball is just a bit under the zone. So he's been working that breaking pitch more and more into the zone. So he gives the nod to Schultz. Kick home, and that one too far inside. Runner will hold over at first. So Hinson not really going anywhere. No urgency to try to book it down to second with the arm of Schultz.
And that's smart. No action in the inning. Don't want to risk. You already have a runner on. Just keep him at first and love to see another day out there.
Sun quickly going down as shade engulfing the field, and that'll be a foul ball to move our count to 2-2 as the designated hitter Tyler McPeak is looking to find a way on.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We have some shade in left field and the sunlight in right field. We'll see if that affects any of the baseball we have probably in the couple 20 minutes, 30 minutes we have left of sunlight.
When the sun goes down at Cox Mill High School, it goes down very, very quick as it slides behind the building up on the hill behind us, and darkness engulfs the field fairly quickly as Hinson was going. However, a foul ball from McPeak sends him back to first, and we'll try the 2-2 once again.
When that sunlight's going to come with kind of the dome atmosphere here at Cox Mill High School.
Temperature already dropped down to 81. As humidity not too bad tonight. Giacomo misses just inside. So now finds himself in a full count. Nobody out, 1 runner on. As this is a big out for DiGiacomo to try to find himself in a lot more manageable of a situation. Big swing and a miss on a fastball high in the zone. That sits down Tyler McPeak for his 2nd strikeout of the game. So DiGiacomo's numbers now go 2 Ks and 5 walks.
I felt like we've had a lot of make-or-break pitches tonight for DiGiacomo, and he's had to come up in big moments, and he did right there. Much-needed K.
The catcher, Davis Turner, now steps in for the Spinners. Had a walk in his first at-bat. So with 1 away, DiGiacomo starts the at-bat with the ball cutting inside on the legs of Turner. Another good stop by Andy Schultz behind the plate, not to let that go to the backstop and have Hinson advance into scoring position. Not a big lead from Hinson down on first. DiGiacomo, similar location, a little more up, but still misses the zone inside. The count now runs 2-0.
And Schultz, very few mistakes tonight for that back spot. Much needed for DiGiacomo as he's missed low sometimes, but Schultz has been the man to rely on back there.
One away and one on as the Spinners looking to increase their lead. Slow throw back from DiGiacomo, just making sure Hinson isn't going anywhere. He's shown steal once so far, however, not too big of a lead on the base paths. Jackson Taylor holding him on at first. Off-speed home, and that's going to be a foul tip into the glove of Andy Schultz. So that'll account for the first strike of the at-bat. The count now moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. The extra hitter, Jeremy Green, standing on deck. DiGiacomo looks in. Now he'll deliver from the belt. As a breaking pitch misses too far downstairs. And the count now moves 3-1.
And a great breaking pitch right there. Maybe an 0-2 count breaking pitch more than a 2-1 count breaking pitch.
DiGiacomo working quickly, firing back home, and the 3-1 is fouled against the screen. So the count now moves full on Davis Turner. Once again, another big payoff pitch here for DiGiacomo. As with all these balls just painting the edge of the corners, it's been a very high pitch count for these first 3 innings. 1 away and 1 on for the full count pitch to Turner. Just too low. Good framing from Schultz, but just doesn't get the call. A grit of the teeth from DiGiacomo shows the frustration, and the Spinners now have 2 on with 1 away for Jeremy Green.
And if this night is teaching anything about DiGiacomo, it's just getting out of big situations. He's been doing great so far, and another one here, 2 runners on, and only 1 out in the inning.
Green had a ground out in his first at bat, sitting 0 for 1 on the day, looking to change that with a runner in scoring position. DiGiacomo fires that one in the dirt. And that's been one of the things that he struggled with, is getting ahead in the count early. As we'll try the 1-0 and another one down low, that time a breaking pitch. So 2 balls and no strikes on Jeremy Green.
Talking about Andy Schultz there behind the plate, it's been a mix-up for catchers so far. So we have 2 catchers leaving and 2 new catchers coming in. Jackson Leaf out of Pfeiffer University, and then Jordan Spearman out of Catawba Valley Community College. So we'll see late season 2 new guys coming in to battle for that spot.
That's now 3 straight pitches that have missed downstairs for DiGiacomo. 2 of them didn't miss by much, but nevertheless, count now sits at 3-0. DiGiacomo's delivery home is down low. 4 straight balls now leave him loaded. As the second baseman, Steven Smith, comes on in a big situation for the Spinners. Only 1 away with the bases juiced, and we're going to have a quick mound meeting.
Nobody warming up that Lake Norman bullpen, so obviously Sean Stevens with the confidence in Phoenix DiGiacomo, and I would too, how good he's been so far this season and tonight getting out of jams.
Only thing you got to worry about is you want to try to use him as much as you can, but you've got to worry about that pitch count running up. I mean, a guy can only go for so long before he's going to have to be relieved, even if you want him pitching for longer. Especially with how many games the Copperheads have coming up, I think that you're not going to want to try to gas DiGiacomo for everything that he's got.
Well, especially, yeah, like you said, so many games in such a short time frame. You might need DiGiacomo to go out there on the mound 4 or 5 days from now. If you pitch him 95, 100 pitches, he won't be able to do that, or at least to the level that he has been so far this season.
Speaking of some more games, we'll be back live here tomorrow as the Copperheads take on the Athletics. That game coming to you at 7 o'clock here from Cox Mill High School. We hope you'll be able to tune in and join us for that one as the first pitch sent off the screen of the dugout. So DiGiacomo finds himself up in the count for the first time this inning at 0-1.
And if you want DiGiacomo to run later in this ballgame, you're going to need him to get outs, and you're going to need him to get outs quick in the at-bats, and 0-1 count's a great start for him. He's been running a lot of counts full, That's not good for the pitch count.
The 0-1 on Smith is put into play. Shading back is the right fielder, Jeremiah Guzman. He'll make the catch. Hinson tagging from home, or from third, and he will score at home. So a sacrifice fly RBI for Steven Smith. As the Spinners now lead it 3-0.
And that's the second sac fly that we have for the night for the Spinners, and they've had to get runners in, 2 runners in scoring position, and 2 runners on, 3 runners on, and might not get hits, but they're still getting those runners in.
So the left fielder, Hunter Bryson, will come on to try to continue the rally with 2 away. First pitch he sees slices through the hole over on the first base side. 1 run is going to come in to score. Runner will hold at second base, but another one comes across as the Spinners take a 4-0 lead in the top of the third.
And Hunter Bryson was ready to swing, and he was ready to swing early. We've seen a lot of Spinners tonight just wait back in the counts, and we've seen make DeJacquemart run up his pitch count. But Hunter Bryson said, no, I'm going to get my RBI, and I'm going to get it quick in the at-bat.
So Jeremy Green moves up to second base. Hunter Bryson stands on first. As Dante DeFranco trying to keep the rally going for Mooresville with 2 away. DeGiacomo taking a long look in. Big deep breath. Now he'll kick and deliver. And that one catches a piece of the zone. Nice frame job from Schultz.
Last time DeFranco faced DeGiacomo, DeGiacomo walked him. So there is a base open, but obviously want to get the run, get the batter and get him now.
It's a big first strike in the at-bat. As DeGiacomo now tries the 0-1, and that one's a bit too far in the dirt, so the count evens up at 1-1. 2 runs in the top of the third if you're just joining us for the Spinners, as they lead it 4-0. 4 runs off of 1 hit so far, as that one misses just outside, and that number shows you the struggles from Phoenix. DeGiacomo on the mound. If needed, the center fielder Justin Fox stands on deck for Mooresville. DeGiacomo delivers the 2-1 home, and a nice off-speed with some good 12-6 movement on it. Evens up the count at 2-2. I don't know if I'd call that a 12-6 curveball, but had some good up-and-down movement.
Looks like a slider / slurve sometimes, and then it looks like a 12-6 at times as well.
The 2-2. Too low. Count evens up at 3-2 as that one just missed on the inside part of the plate. And like we've said time and time again, DeGiacomo in most of these at-bats has not missed the zone by much, but it's been just enough as that one is fouled off against the screen. It's been just enough to warrant a ball instead of a strike. And I know that's one of the most frustrating parts sitting on the mound is when you feel it, you're feeling good, and you're just not getting that specific zone. You're not getting that specific spot.
Yeah, it's been different batters. Same story so far tonight for DeGiacomo, just barely missing on every person that he's faced.
The 3-2 to DeFranco. That one's put into play. Shading on it is Ixarino. He'll fire over to first, and it will be in time, so the Copperheads leave 2 stranded, but not before the Spinners can bring 2 across. 4-0 is your new score as we head to the bottom of the third to see if the Copperheads can answer here from Cox Mill High School. Welcome back as Kyrus Dawson gets things led off for the Lake Norman Copperheads here in the bottom of the third. Austin back on for his third inning of work, trying to keep this scoreless game rolling for the Spinners.
Yeah, Kyrus Dawson kind of using the second leadoff here for Lake Norman, and we see his speed, 8 runs and 11 stolen bases, as that one goes for a strike.
Yeah, Dawson batting in the 9-hole, so Ixarino standing on deck, as he has one of the only hits for the Copperheads so far tonight. As Dawson looking to find a way on base for Sereno, as he's now watched 2 go by him outside the zone, count to 2-1. The 2-1 home is high, so quickly moves to 3 balls and 1 strike. If you're just joining us, the Spinners put 2 runs up in the top of the first and 2 runs up in the top half of this frame. As the 3-1 home is cut on and fouled over the first base side. So if you're used to joining us here, you know that sometimes we have some camera technical difficulties, and that's what we got going on right now. So we'll bring it to you radio style. So the 3-2, that's put on in play, fielded by the third baseman, firing over to first in time is Dante DeFranco. A nice play to get the first out of the inning as Kyrus Dawson is retired.
And it wouldn't be a Copperheads broadcast without the camera dying.
Oh, it wouldn't. Absolutely not.
Yeah, Dawson trying to show his speed right there, try to beat out that ground ball, just couldn't get there in time, and now Ixarino will step up.
Yeah, batting your shortstop, number 4, Sereno.
Like I had mentioned previously, Sereno with that leadoff single, as he floated one softly into left field at the feet of Hunter Bryson. So we'll see what he can do with 1 away and nobody on, and that was that wicked breaking pitch that has so much movement on it from Luke Austin. That started almost in the righty's batter box and finished just outside of the zone. Another one's fired from Austin, but this one moves just a bit too far outside. So the count now evens up at 1-1. Those back-to-back breaking pitches. He seems to be feeling it at the moment. Sereno digs back in. And the 1-1 falls too far inside.
Yeah, Sereno almost went around on that one. Looked like it almost clipped his foot, but the umpire said no, and he'll have to stay in the box.
So the 2-1 home. Another breaking pitch missing low. So 4 breaking pitches, 1 catching, 3 missing. So Sereno sitting with the hitter's count. Peyton Schubert standing on deck. And that's going to be a called strike on the inside part of the plate. Sereno thought he had ball 4, but he'll step back in one more time to try the full count pitch.
Yeah, 2 very close back-to-back pitches, one going for a ball, one going for a strike, maybe a little bit of a makeup call right there.
So either way, the count runs full. And Austin deliver from the belt. And that will be ball 4, sending over to first base is Ixarino, so he's on for the second time tonight. As Peyton Schubert now comes up for his second at-bat as a Lake Norman Copperhead. Didn't get off to the best start the first time in these white unis as he ground into a double play in the first inning. However, looking to rectify that here and get something brewing. The Copperheads need 4 to tie it up. First pitch home, sneaks out of the glove of Turner. Looked like it was a borderline strike, however, missed just too far down.
Yeah, it's be interesting to see how guys like Peyton Sherburne and Luke Wood fight their way into this lineup, joining late season, but trying to make a big contribution to this ball club.
Austin fires an off speed, but just stays high out of the zone. So the count now moves 2-0. One away in the inning with one on for the Copperheads. Still looking for that elusive first run in the bottom of the third. The 2-0 will be delayed as fires back to first, checking on Serino. Just making sure Serino has no plans of going anywhere. So Austin's attention will be focused back to home. He'll look into Turner. Now kick and deliver. And a check swing goes around for Schubert. So that'll account for the first strike, and the count moves to 2-1. Little activity in the Spinners bullpen, but nothing more than just a stretch session at the moment. Nothing going on in the Copperheads bullpen. As the 2-1 is swung on and missed, just a little bit late on the fastball was Schubert. So the count moves from 2-0 to 2-2 on back-to-back strikes.
Yeah, Schubert just trying to get a rhythm here. See if he can, 2-2 pitch right here. It'd be great for his morale and confidence to get on base.
The 2-2. That ball's high, and Turner had a chance to try to gun down Serino, but couldn't make a clean transfer. It didn't matter either way, as Serino was pretty much sliding in by the time that Turner was able to get up. So either way, Serino stands down on second. Runner in scoring position now for Schubert. And that one misses outside, so the steal didn't matter in the end as runners now stand on first and second. As Schubert finds his way on for the first time as a Copperhead. Another new face in the lineup, Luke Wood.
Yeah, batting the third baseman, number 24, Luke Wood.
Looking to get himself into a rhythm. Wood saw the first pitch, or the first pitch that Wood saw out of the hands of Austin. He sent out to right field and was gloved by Blake Jackson. So now 1 away, 2 on. Big situation for him, and that's that nasty breaking pitch that finds a piece of the zone. And unless you're sitting on it, that's so hard to predict what it's going to do.
And when Austin has needed strikes tonight, he's gone back to that pitch, and it's been working out great for him so far.
So Wood down in the count, 0-1. 1 away in the inning. Runner standing on second and first. That one's going to be put into play and it's going to fall in center field just in front of Justin Fox. Runner will hold down at third base as Serino likely would have been gunned down, however, was an errant throw, so it would have been an interesting situation to see the play at home. However, manager Sean Stevens down on the third base side playing conservative, as with only 1 away, still a big opportunity, especially with the ever so dangerous Andy Schultz coming to the plate.
And a great decision over there by Sean Stevens. You're down by 4. That one run isn't going to make or break this ball game. Might as well keep him at third base, and still a 4-run game, so it has to get more than just one single to tie this game back up.
We talked about the recognition of that breaking pitch, and Wood saw it back-to-back pitches. The first one slid by him, but he wasn't letting the second one get by as a broken bat single leads to the bases loaded. First pitch home to Schultz, catches the bottom part of the plate, so he finds himself down 0-1. Big opportunity for the power-hitting catcher. Austin taking a long look in. He'll take a look at Serino down on third and then focuses attention home as that's a fastball that rides high and inside. Schultz takes a step out of the box, but quickly back ready to go. Not much phases Andy Schultz. The 1-1 home. Too far down and away. Schultz now up in the count, 2-1. Copperheads have had a couple opportunities tonight, but this is by far the best one that they've had. Only a pair of hits on the night. Schultz looking to come up with a big one. Austin delivers the 2-1 home, and there's a fantastic breaking pitch that slides by the chest of Schultz and catches a piece of the zone. The count now evens up at 2-2.
Austin going back to his bread and butter right there. When he's needed strikes, he's gone back to that pitch, and it's been working for him. And just one strike away from getting Andy Schultz out here.
Serino, Peyton Schubert, and Luke Wood line the base paths. The 2-2 home. Swung on and fouled against the screen. Barely made contact with it, but Schultz fighting to stay alive as we'll try the 2-2 once again.
Yeah, and Andrew Schultz had the walk in the first plate appearance. Just great plate recognition in the first at-bat and second at-bat here, just fighting off that fastball, trying to stay alive and getting a lot better pitch than what he had right there.
Austin out of the stretch. Waves off a couple pitches, and then we'll have time called. Let everybody reset, as Austin will get a new set of pitches from Davis Turner. They agree on the first sign. Turner sets and Austin delivers. And swinging a ground ball, but foul as it bounced off the plate. And they'll head over towards the Mooresville dugout, as Schultz now fought off back-to-back pitches and will stay at 2-2.
Yeah, Schultz has been a pain in the backside of Austin all night tonight, and Schultz was trying to stay alive and just telling him, hey, you're going to have to throw me a good pitch for me to put it in play. If not, I'm just going to keep fouling him off and run up your pitch count.
Two waved off before deciding on the third. Austin's delivery home is another foul ball. That one catches a piece of the dirt before it catches the glove of Turner. So Schultz fighting to stay alive, and it's been a good fight here with the bases juiced. One away for the Copperheads, as two walks and a single have led to them being loaded. The only out in the inning being a Kyrus Dawson ground out to get things started. However, three straight batters have now reached, and Andy Schultz is in a dogfight with Luke Austin, as both these guys put in everything they got. We'll try the 2-2 once again. Too far outside. Schultz saw the breaking pitch, and it slid just outside the zone. Good recognition on the pitch, as the count now runs full.
Both the guys just not backing down, and it's a very good battle right here, the best of the night so far.
And that, if that doesn't show you how good of a hitter Andy Schultz is, I don't know what does. You've been fouling balls off left and right out of the zone, but to lay off a breaking pitch sliding away from you is something else. Called strike three down the plate, as Schultz wasn't able to pick up on that one as it moved right at the end. Had some great movement on it, as at one point it looks like it's going to hit your shoulder, and then it finds the zone. So Schultz goes down looking as he records the second out of the inning, as it'll be up to Jackson Taylor to see what he can do.
And sometimes there's not really such a good a thing as a good out, but there's an out right there that you can take if you're Schultz saying, hey, you know, I striked out right there looking, but you can go back in the dugout and say, I battled and made the pitcher work for it.
It's got to be frustrating, though, going down on one like that. That slides in the way that it does, and it's a tough pitch.
The pitch before he laid off one just like that on the outside part of the plate, and that one just a little bit more inside and called for a strike.
So Taylor sitting on the 1-0, as that's another ball that misses in the middle of the zone but outside. So Austin 2-0 count on Jackson Taylor. He reached in his previous at-bat on the bloop into no man's land. So Taylor looking to find a similar way on and get some runners in for the Copperheads. Need to find something out of this bases loaded scenario. The 2-0. Another one missing high and outside.
And I feel like I'm Jackson Taylor right here. You got to take on this. 3-0. You don't want to swing on a bad pitch, especially in bases loaded, and just waste this golden opportunity that the Copperheads have.
I completely agree. Austin hasn't been able to find the zone. He's missed in pretty much the exact same spot every single time on the outside part of the plate. Don't give him anything he's not giving you. The 3-0. Swung on and put into play out into left field. That'll score one. Another runner coming around, as that will score two on an RBI single. So Jackson Taylor records 2 ribbies to his stat line, and the Copperheads have cut the lead in half. And obviously, Jackson Taylor shouldn't be listening to us, as he He soared that one over the head of Brandon Butterworth. It was a leaping effort, but still had a couple feet to go as it fell at the feet of Hunter Bryson, and his throw just came up short.
That's why me and you are not down there at third base giving him the take sign. Sean Stevens giving them the green light right there, and it worked out in their favor, and now it's only a 2-run ball game.
The right fielder, Jeremiah Guzman, coming on, and there's that sweeping breaking pitch for strike one.
And you won't see many breaking pitches better than that in the SCBL right there. Just pitch after pitch, batter after batter. Just back-to-back beautiful breaking pitches.
Runners on first and second. The 0-1 home as a fastball slides high. So Luke Wood standing out on second base. Jackson Taylor on first. So we do have some activity in the Mooresville bullpen. Another breaking pitch just sliding a bit too far inside. As when it whips, but when it doesn't connect, it's very, very close to the inside part of the zone. Avery Bridges is our man in the Spinners bullpen. He's just doing some soft toss right now. However, I'd expect to see him in the game at some point, as the 2-1 will be held off for just a bit longer. It's Austin wanting to check the runners.
And the Spinners were just advantage in the pitching category over teams like the Copperheads and Kingsmen. Kingsmen and Copperheads both down some pitchers, and the Spinners just have so much depth to the rotation, willing to throw guys. 2-run ball game. Hey, I'm have the depth to throw a guy out there.
The 2-1 misses high, and now with the 3-1 count on Jeremiah Guzman, Austin in danger of loading the bases for Ivan Zambrano.
And we've seen that depth of pitching so far this year for the Spinners, shutting out teams, shutting out the Vipers the other night, a combined no-hitter earlier this year, and the rotation has just been right up there with the Copperheads, how good their starting pitchers have been.
The 3-1 home. Another nice breaking pitch that slides on the inside part of the plate. Able to load the count to full, and that's really been Austin's safety pitch when he needs to find one that he doesn't think hitters are going to swallow up. You head right to that slider.
Well, it's so hard if you're a righty, it's cutting in, on the shoulder, down in the strike zone. If you're a lefty, it's cutting in on your hands.
2 away with 2 on. As Austin will collect himself and step off the rubber. As we'll look to try the payoff pitch. Guzman ready. Austin ready. The kick and the delivery. Swung on and missed on a slider. As Austin leaves 2 on, but not before the Copperheads can strike and cut the lead in half. 4-2 is your score as we head to the top of the 4th and turn it over to Zane Metz when we come back here from Cox Mill High School.
And welcome back here in this game between the Lake Norman Copperheads and Mooresville Spinners. Just an overview of your SCBL standings. In first place, we have the Mooresville Spinners at 13-5. Kingsman Baseball Club 9-6, 2.5 games back. Copperheads at 10-8 with 3 games back. Concord Athletics 10-10, 500 record, only 4 games back. So that top 4 super close. And the Carolina Vipers trailing behind at 2-15 and 10.5 games back. So some work to do for Carolina. But that SCBL tournament, double elimination, anything can happen.
Yep, with every single one of these teams getting in and being able to compete, doesn't really matter what your regular season record is. If you can get in and win and get hot at the right time, that's exactly what's called for.
And that's what the Spinners did last year. They were the 3 seed in the SCBL tournament and won the championship at their home park as a lesser seed. Giacomo deals the 2-0 pitch. That one swung on, and a big swing and a miss right there. As up in the inning for the Spinners is the center fielder Justin Fox, and then the right fielder Blake Jackson, and then Brandon Butterworth in the hole. I see DeGiacomo miss low. The count went 3-1. DeGiacomo's pitch count tonight sitting very high in the mid-80s. So we'll see probably this final inning of work. We do see an arm warming up in that Lake Norman bullpen.
That arm looks to be Zach Will.
As Giacomo walks the first batter of the inning. And Blake Jackson up. Jackson so far tonight has walked both times up. It's interesting to see Zach Will coming into this game, a position player. We'll see if they can get some crucial innings here in a tight ball game. That one outside for a ball. DeGiacomo falls behind 1-0, so we do see some wear on his arm right there and missing some locations. That one almost clips the foot of Blake Jackson, but just gets out of the way, and DeGiacomo falls behind 2-0.
You can audibly hear the no from our home plate umpire saying that did not clip his foot. It was very, very close on the inside part.
Giacomo shakes off one, takes a big deep breath, and gets a sign from Andy Schultz. Here comes the 2-0 pitch. That one fouled off, and a much-needed strike right there by DeGiacomo. As that goes down the third base line.
It's just been getting into bad situations for DeGiacomo, not having great start to innings, and then all of a sudden finding yourself with 2 men on and 1 out or nobody out, and then working in a tough scenario.
And that one goes by for a strike. So DeGiacomo from 2-0 to 2-2, 2 crucial pitches back-to-back, and only 1 strike away from getting the first out of the inning. We'll see if that signature slider/curveball comes into play right here. As he does get the sign from Schultz. Schultz sent up in the lower half of the zone. And we see that one just missing on the outside plate, so Giacomo runs the count full 3-2.
Once again, if y'all have any questions at home or anything to ask us or add to the broadcast, please feel free to drop it in the live chat here on YouTube.
That one misses for ball 4, so DeGiacomo climbing back from 2-0 to 2-2 isn't good enough, as he will walk the first 2 batters of this inning. And the also dangerous Brandon Butterworth will step up. Butterworth with a walk and a putout so far tonight. And Blake Jackson having a resume of getting walks as his 3rd one of the night. So DeGiacomo just hasn't been able to found a way to put Jackson back in the dugout and not allowing him on first base.
Butterworth a walk and a pop out.
As that was a good fastball there from DeGiacomo, as we saw Butterworth mad himself. He didn't swing there. A 1 pitch. That one is low. And Schultz blocking it up like he has all night tonight. Put a brick wall back there, and just what DeGiacomo's needed, as DeGiacomo's missed low a lot tonight.
Only 1 ball's gotten to the backstop away from Andy Schultz. That was in the first inning when Blake Jackson and Brandon Butterworth were lining the base paths and ended up moving them to 2nd and 3rd.
And that one lined into left field. Kyrus Dawson will track back and get that baseball. Fired to second base and will not be in time, but Kyrus Dawson showing off the speed over there in center. And almost caught Justin Fox napping over there.
And I think Fox thought that was a hit as he was almost down all the way to third base. Had to use his speed to get back. And Dawson, I don't want to say prematurely threw that baseball, but if he would have had a chance to set his feet and really try to fire that, there might have been a chance that Fox would have been out at second on the force.
You know, almost kind of a nonchalant throw over there, just not expecting that Justin Fox would be so far off the bag. First pitch of the at-bat will go by for a strike. The big lefty, James Henson, up as he had a ground out that turned into an RBI his first time up, then a hit by pitch. But down 0-1 here. That one just misses low, and Giacomo saying, come on, man, how did I not get that pitch right there? Shrugging his shoulders. We felt like that's happened a lot tonight.
You could feel the frustration from both pitchers tonight. It just feels like you're hitting your marks, but it's just not enough.
1-1 pitch that's lined over there, and second baseball fielder. No, he can't. A bad hop, throw it over, and still got him. That is a great play right there by Peyton Sherbert, the new addition to Lake Norman. A bad hop, using his chest to block that baseball, keep it down, then firing over there to Jackson Taylor. And that pretty much saved a run almost, because if that gets in the outfield, we don't know if Justin Fox, the speedy center fielder, will advance home or just bases loaded with 1 out is, you know, just a completely different situation that Giacomo has to stay in, and you might have to bring your relief pitcher in if that happens.
So Fox now over to third, standing 90 feet away.
As the DH, Tyler McPeely up to bat, and his first pitch that he sees, and this one goes for a ball. So he has 2 runners in scoring position.
McPeak with a sacrifice fly and a strikeout.
1-0 pitch from Giacomo. That one lined down the third baseline. That one will go foul. As Luke Wood, good effort over there, but
Wasn't foul by much, but it took just enough of a hop with the spin on the baseball to send it left of the third base bag.
and I feel like a broken record right here. Another big situation for Giacomo, just having to claw his way out of it. And that's why his pitch count is up in the 90s right now.
Justin Fox on third, Blake Jackson standing on second. 2 runners in scoring position, 2 away, the 1-1.
And the DH, Kelly McPhail, will foul that one off for back-to-back pitches. So just sitting early on those Giacomo pitches, waiting for that fastball to come in, but hasn't got it yet.
And McPeak's been sitting on, like you said, McPeak's been sitting on that fastball, and he's just gotten 2 breaking pitches. He's been way early on.
That one almost gets by Schultz. The runner will be advancing. Justin Fox going home. And that will go past Giacomo. But good job right there by Jackson Taylor picking up the scraps, but a run will come in. So the Spinners extend their lead to 3. And Andy Schultz, a brick wall right there, just had a leak right there. Just getting past him, and that will allow a run to come in.
When we've seen it miss his glove, it's been popped off the top edge, and that's what happened with that ball running on the inside part. And that was just an amalgamation of Justin Fox heads-up base running and Schultz not rushing over to get that ball, as he didn't think that Fox would try to score from that position.
And it's not like these balls that are getting past Schultz are just coming off the glove. It's not like a bad block or anything. That is a beautiful curveball from Giacomo right there, but does not get the call, so the count will run full. He must need a strike right there, and different pitch, same story, as he's just not getting these calls that he's wanted. Full count pitch. That one lined into left field. That ball is deep, and that one will go foul. Oh, excuse me, out 3 in the inning. Sorry, I cannot see behind that third base
You're all
dugout.
good.
But Giacomo will take it and get his third out of the inning, probably his final work of the afternoon. We'll be back here at Cox Mill High School for some more Copperheads baseball action.
Luke Austin back out for his 4th inning of work as we welcome you back in from Cox Mill High School here in Concord, North Carolina, as Ivan Zambrano gets things started for the Lake Norman Copperheads. The left-hander was caught in a series of strikeouts as Austin was getting hot with his slider as Guzman, Zambrano, and Whitaker all went down with Ks in their first appearance. First pitch he sees is an off-speed that misses the outside part of the plate. Quickly down 0-1. Next pitch goes for a strike, so now Zambrano finds himself in a hole, now down 0-2. Austin looking to make quick work here as that just misses the outer part of the zone. It was a very good location and a nice frame from Turner, however, to no avail, so Zambrano finds himself in a 1-ball, 2-strike count. Austin working very quickly to get things started here, and Zambrano turns on a breaking pitch but gets just under it. Can't find it in the lights, and that's going to fall at the base of the wall. Zambrano digging around second. He's going to try to go 3. Zambrano will be safe in at third with what you could call a triple. But losing it in the lights was Hunter Bryson. He didn't see it from the moment it came off the bat. It landed a good 20 feet to his right. And so Zambrano finds himself standing 90 feet away now as the Copperheads look to get the run they gave up in the top half of the frame back quickly here as Kyle Whitaker comes up to bat.
Number 13, Kyle Whitaker.
So we'll have a transfer of equipment from the dugout, and that'll be our quick delay here. The Spinners lead at 5-2 as we sit in the bottom of the 4th inning. The Copperheads looking to strike, however. Ivan Zambrano standing 90 feet away after the error by Hunter Bryson. Austin's first delivery to Whitaker. That one's bounced over the head of Austin, charging on is Butterworth. He makes a fantastic play down at first, but that will score the run. So the Copperheads give back the run they gave up in the top half of the frame, as it is now a 2-run deficit with nobody on and 1 away for Kyrus Dawson.
Now batting for Lake Norman, number 17, Kyrus Dawson.
So Dawson in his first at-bat had himself a ground out. So he'll look to get something started here with 1 away in the bottom of the 4th. Long look in from Austin. Glove hiding his face. Now he'll deliver, and Kyrus swings on it. That one going foul. It will remain in play, and that will be an out. Goes a bit blind when the ball goes behind the dugouts here from our perspective. However, Kyrus Dawson flies out on the first pitch he sees. And now 2 are away for the leadoff batter, Serino. Serino with a single and a walk to his name. So trying to keep that 1-1 stat line rolling. If need be, Peyton Schubert stands on deck. Austin's first offering to Serino is a nice breaking pitch that has him digging in the dirt. So Serino recollects himself, and now he'll ready on the 0-1.
Yeah, Austin working very quick in this inning.
That's a 2-seam fastball that runs in high, and that shows you the real difficulty of trying to select the pitches from Austin. You've got that beautiful slider and that 2-seam fastball that come out of pretty much the exact same arm slot, as that one gives a nice little ting and hits the pole.
I think that's the first time that's happened this season.
I haven't heard that before. In all my time of calling here at Cox Mill as well, I've never seen or heard that before. That was an enjoyable sound.
Yeah.
Hopefully that picked up on the broadcast. So it brought a smile to all our faces up here in the press box.
It's the little things that matter.
It's the little things that bring you joy in life, right? The 1-2 home. Missed just outside. Alstein trying to get Sereno to chase, similar to the first pitch he saw. However, he chased low in the first one, but doesn't chase high on that one as the count rings up 2-2. Gives the nod home as Sereno catches that one off the end of the bat. Butterworth has to trace back, trying to find it, and backpedals making the catch as that will retire the side. The Copperheads get one in the bottom of the fourth as we see if the Spinners can extend their lead when we come back from Cox Mill High School here on the SCBL YouTube channel.
And welcome back here. So we have a new pitcher on the mound for the Lake Norman Copperheads. The man out of Bryan and Stratton College, Jacob Shaw. Shaw so far in this SCBL campaign, 16 innings pitched with a 7.78 ERA, 15 strikeouts, 16 walks, 1 win, 1 loss. And this is the 8th appearance of the year. All 8 appearances in relief. So, man, Sean Stevens trusts out of that Lake Norman bullpen.
Now batting for the Spinners.
And now batting for the Spinners is Davis Turner. Number 1 playing behind the plate tonight for Mooresville.
Last time we saw Shaw here at Cox Mill High School, he had 6 innings of no-hit baseball and 10 strikeouts.
So obviously a place he really likes to pitch at. As David had to throw that fact back in before going back to his meal. As here comes the 1-0 pitch from Shaw. Gets a sign from Andy Schultz. As that is a great pitch from Shaw right there, and even up the count 1-1. Just a textbook breaking pitch. 1-1 pitch from Shaw. That one is line. He popped up down the left field line. Luke Wood tracking back, but that will be out of play. So Shaw will jump up at the count 1-2. As everyone can see on the broadcast, getting a lot darker here. The light's getting a lot brighter on the field. As a great night for baseball here. A lot better than the last time the Lake Norman Copperheads had a home game, as that one unfortunately got rained out by the thunder in the area. And then we're supposed to have a game not too many nights ago also against the Carolina Vipers, but that got rained out. Mother Nature not wanting us to have baseball in the last couple of appearances against the Vipers, but luckily so far tonight has held up. 1-2 pitch from Shaw, just missing outside that fastball, not painting the outside part of the plate. Here comes the 2-2 pitch going into Davis Turner. Turner will turn on that one and for a foul ball. And the count will stay at 2-2. So we'll try the 2-2 once again. That one low. And bounces up and looks like it got the home plate umpire. That's not a way to get some calls on your favor if you're hitting the home plate umpire. So the count will run full 3-2. That one popped into the infield. A sky-high fly ball into no man's land, almost tracking back, and that ball will drop. That one was a very awkward situation for Ick Sereno and Kairos Dawson. That is a major league pop-up right there. And you don't get too many that high off these wood bats.
Very similar to what we saw with Jackson Taylor in his first at-bat. However, that one was shifted a little more towards left field, but nevertheless, I mean, that's such a hard ball to field, especially when it goes above the sight of the lights, with how high that ball was in the air. Not only that, but you got to have a long run from any position to try to find it. Just an unfortunate break.
As that one will be popped up, and the count will go to 0-1. Yeah, very unfortunate for Shaw right there, having to deal with a runner in scoring position. Or not in scoring position, excuse me, with one runner on, no outs in the inning. No 1 pitch from Shaw. Shaw will get the sign from Schultz. Davis Turner still standing over there at first. And that one is the left field. That ball is high. That ball is deep. That ball is gone. Oh, that stays in the park. What a robbery right there from Ivan Zamborino. And he keeps that ball in the park right there as Green is robbed of a extra base hit. And yes, no, I did talk way too soon right there as that ball was very high and deep, but Zambrano keeping that one in. And now the second baseman, Steven Smith, will step on. Looked like there's going to be no runners on right there and 2 extra runs for the Spinners when he came up, but see Davis Turner still standing over there at first.
Smith with a single and an RBI so far in this one. That's a nice stat line trying to keep up with a runner standing on first.
Shaw checking back over the runner, getting the sign. That one in the dirt, and the batter went, so the count will go to 0-2. As Schultz continues to block it up right there, we see the home plate umpire dusting off that home plate, getting a better view for himself. Yes, I'm guessing he went right there. Surely did look like it. But no check over there to second base. Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Shaw. That one down the third base line for a foul ball, so the count will stay at 0-2. And Davis Turner will have to track back over there to first base. Excuse me, he didn't go on that pitch before the last one. So now the count will go 2-2. Yeah, so we had some miscommunication. It really didn't signal if that was going to be a strike or a ball. It just kind of left us in the dust, and then I had to find out last second. So anyway, 2-2 count, 1 out of the inning. Now one of the dirt will get past Andy Schultz, and Davis Turner will advance over to second base.
Yeah, that ball just went 5-hole and bounced off his right foot and just shotgunned out towards Mooresville's dugout. Just an unfortunate bounce.
Yeah. And Davis Turner saying thank you very much, just having a Sunday stroll over there to second base. And we'll take the extra bag. And now Sean, a big situation here, full count pitch. We'll get the sign from Schultz, look back at the runner at second. That one will go to Luke Jones, and we'll throw it over to first and get the second out in the inning as Davis Turner decides to stay over there at second base, and now 2 outs in the inning. And Hunter Bryson will step up with 2 outs in the inning. That's what I'm saying earlier, Hunter Bryson, an ex-Copperhead, one of 2 players that were playing on this Copperheads roster last season, so some familiar faces to all the Copperheads fans out there watching the broadcast. Hunter Bryson, then J.D. Brock, also on that Spinners roster. Brock, a mainstay in the Copperheads lineup and the Mooresville Spinners lineup this season. They're not seeing the action tonight. Now went to Bryson. That was lined in to left field, and Zambrano will get in front of that one, and one runner will come in. So the Spinners extend their lead. And Zambrano, nothing he could do right there.
Just a well-placed ball. Well-placed hit. Easy RBI. That's all there is to it.
Very simple explanation right there from David.
Absolutely.
I mean, it was just a very simple hit as well. So, I mean, Hunter Bryson, that's the second time tonight that he's turned on a first pitch fastball and got a single out of it. So third baseman Dante DeFranco steps in. DeFranco with a walk so far tonight. Hunter Bryson standing over there at second. Or excuse me, at first. That one popped up. Tracking back like it was one earlier in the inning. And Kyrus Dawson will call everybody off, so no confusion like it was earlier. But one run does come in, so the Spinners do their damage. And we're back here at Cox Mill High School for some more SCBL baseball.
Welcome back to Cox Mill High School as Peyton Schubert leads things off for the Lake Norman Copperheads. He's out for his 5th inning of work is Luke Austin. As he gets things started with a ball just on the outside part of the plate. And the count runs 1-0.
Yeah, Austin been a very reliable arm so far for Mooresville. We've seen some guys warming up in that pen, but so far so good tonight for him.
Swing and a miss there from Schubert as the count moves even at 1-1. Everything the same in the field for the Spinners, as they're looking to see how long Austin can go, only giving up 3 runs so far. Nice pitch inside as the off-speed catches the inner part of the plate. As now quickly down 1 ball and 2 strikes is Peyton Schubert. Has a ground into a double play and a walk so far in his Copperheads debut game as he watches a fastball stay high. As our count evens 2-2. Still looking for his first hit for the red and black. As a swing and a miss on that slider sits him down. So he will record the first out of the inning as the third baseman Luke Wood now comes up for Lake Norman. Wood so far has had a pop out and a single. Looking to keep the train of positivity going, finding a way back on base. Austin, however, looking to make quick work of the chunk of the order. And that's going to be a big swing and a foul tip.
This is going to be a big inning for Austin right here. The chunk of the order, like you said. You know, some big power hitters coming up again late in his night. Pitch count running up, arm getting tired. There's going to be some crucial at-bats here.
The 2-3-4 was due up in this frame as that's a fastball that just misses the zone high. So the catcher, Andy Schultz, in the 4-hole standing on deck. The 1-1 on Wood. Slider fouled against the screen. As that one took a while to get down, got hung up a couple times in between the netting here. As if you've never seen the netting at Cox Mill High School, it's definitely interesting. There's a small net behind home plate, and then a bigger one that extends off of these large wooden beams. So there's a little bit of a gap that the ball can slide through, and that one clips Wood, and a little bit of frustration there as he throws the lumber back towards the dugout. However, finding a way to get on as he's reached now in back-to-back at-bats. So 1 on and 1 away for the catcher, Andy Schultz, as we're looking, looks like there's a bit of an appeal from Austin, or he's talking something over with our home plate umpire.
Can't imagine it was that hit by pitch. I feel like that was pretty obvious. It must be something else. We've seen both pitchers talking with the umpire many times tonight, more than we have really all season, and then the umpire talking to that Copperheads dugout as well.
I was trying to see if I could listen in on the conversation. Heard voices, couldn't pick out any words, as we're still going to have a conversation going on here between, looks like somebody in the dugout, and our home plate umpire. So manager Sean Stevens saying, come talk to him instead of go talk to his dugout, as there looks to be some kind of dispute between somebody in the dugout and our home plate umpire tonight, as manager Stevens trying to figure out the situation. As I can only assume there were just some words said in the dugout and was not agreed upon fully by our home plate umpire. So Sean Stevens trying to walk him back behind the plate. The Spinners having a mound meeting with this opportunity.
And we've seen the displeasure so far tonight from the Copperheads on many calls. So I think that coming from missed calls that they feel that were earlier in the night.
Worry about you, sir. Worry about you.
So that mound meeting still going on that Mooresville mound, and
He said, play some music. Come on.
so a little break in the action right there, but
Absolutely.
hopefully we can get back to some baseball. And that's going to come with such a high-stakes game we have here. Both teams not going to agree with some calls, and I mean, such a big game like this, you want every call to go your way. Every little thing can, make or break this game, and even seeding going in late season.
The catcher, Andy Schultz, now coming in for the Copperheads, batting in the 4 spot. And Schultz comes on with 1 on and 1 away. Schubert struck out to start the inning, and then Luke Wood was hit by a pitch. That's how he finds himself down at first. First pitch home to Schultz is a fastball that rides high and inside. So a big, deep breath from Austin. He's going to fire back towards first. He was ready to set back home, but looked like there was an opportunity to try to gun down Wood standing at first. Wood back to the bag in time. So Austin will look back in and try the 1-0. Delivery and a swing and a miss on a fastball, as Schultz was trying to rip that one. However, slipped too low for the barrel, and the count evens up at 1-1. The delivery, and the 1-1 is fouled off against the screen. As Schultz trying to find any way to get himself on or advance the runner. He'll have to fight back in a 1-2 count. We've seen him fight back in a couple counts tonight. Schultz was down 0-2. Ended up bringing it back to 3-2 in his previous at-bat before striking out and running 9 pitches out of Austin. We'll try the 1-2 on Schultz. Just a bit too far outside. Dugout does not agree.
And when I tell you both sides have not been too happy with the call so far tonight, and that's the loudest we've heard the Spinners dugout all night right there.
Absolutely it is. Gives a little bit of energy in there. Not only frustration, but just giving some backup to Austin. That fastball misses high, so back-to-back balls now runs the count to 3-2. As Schultz had a keen eye on the pitching from Luke Austin. Trying to get through his 5th inning of work. The 3-2. Gonna miss outside, so the runner going to second does not matter. So runners will now stand at second and first as Luke Wood represents the runner in scoring position. As Jackson Taylor now comes up. And with 1 away in the inning, this could be the end of Luke Austin's night. And that will be it for Luke Austin. So Austin will head out. We will have a new pitcher, and while he warms up, we will get you all the information about our new slinger on the mound when we come back from Cox Mill High School. New pitcher into the game for the Mooresville Spinners is Matt Sheppel. Sheppel out of Western Carolina University, 2-0 on the season with a 2.7 ERA across 5 games, 16.2 innings pitched. The big thing to look at there, 20 strikeouts to 7 walks as his first pitch is low and away.
You talk about those 20 strikeouts for those 7 walks, a very effective pitcher so far. A lot of strikeouts, keeping those walks down, and that's crucial.
So the 1-0 from Sheppel. Swung on and fouled by our new batter, Jackson Taylor. He's got a pair of singles in this one as well as an RBI, so Taylor sitting 2 for 2. Looking to keep his hitting streak going in this game. Luke Wood standing out on second base. Andy Schultz on first. Long look on the mound, and the 1-1 home is swung on and missed on the inside part of the plate. Rung up Taylor on the hands. Could not hold back as he follows through, and the count moves 1-2. So Sheppel with long looks in to Davis Turner. Now he'll set. Take a look back at Wood at second. And fire home. Breaking pitch missing too far on the inside part of the plate. Count evens at 2-2.
Sheppel coming in this game in a weird situation, going to have to get his control and get it quick before it gets out of hand.
It's a very long look back at the runners before he decides to head home. That one is slicing down the third base side, but is going to go foul. Needed about 10 feet or so more to the right to catch a piece of the line. So the count on Taylor will stay 2-2.
One thing that's been interesting to me is that Mooresville Spinners manager out there. Normally you see managers kind of in the dugout, but him tonight just kind of standing out there in front of the screen and just being kind of in the field of play sometimes.
Very active with his players. So Taylor holding that bat at head height. Now Sheppel delivers from the belt. And that one misses just outside. Count runs full now. One away in the inning as Luke Wood was hit by a pitch and Andy Schultz walked. As those are your 2 runners on for the Copperheads. As Taylor with the 3-2 now looking to find a way to get on. That was a 2-seamer coming inside that fouls off the hands and off the screen, and you could see he wanted that one back.
Yeah, and Taylor right here, kind of an Andrew Schultz-esque at-bat right here. Just keeps fighting off pitches, waiting for a pitch that he can get and rip, and does not want to go down looking on strikes right here in a big situation.
We'll try the payoff once again. Sheppel's delivery, and that's going to be put into play. And down, a sliding effort from Justin Fox. Cannot come up with the ball. It rolls all the way to the wall. One run comes in to score, and Jackson Taylor has himself a double as he picks up his second RBI on the night, and the Copperheads now only down by 2 with runners standing on second and third.
Yeah, and Andrew Schultz over there just didn't go home. It could have been a 2 RBI double right there, but now 2 runners in scoring position. So we'll see if that base running mistake comes up costly.
And so time called in the field trying to collect himself is Justin Fox. I mean, when I say he laid out, he laid out.
Yeah, he used every inch of that frame right there trying to get to that baseball and just missed out on it. Just a great effort.
As we have a pinch hitter into the game for the Lake Norman Copperheads, Jeremiah Guzman will head to the bench, and Wilson Lohr will get a chance here with runners standing on second and third. A very big situation as Matt Sheppel trying to work his way out of a jam. One away, and the first pitch to Lohr is swung on and missed.
Yeah, Laura tried his hand in pitching last night in the doubleheader. Played both games in that doubleheader against the Kingsmen. Came out to save the first game. The second game didn't work out as well as the first game, but here in a big situation, 0-1 pitch, and that one will go inside. The count will run even, 1-1.
Interesting decision by manager Sean Stevens of the Copperheads. Ivan Zambrano standing on deck. The 1-1 home to Lure. Another ball inside, swung on and missed. He's looking to try to pull one down the right field line. Still has yet to make contact with the ball.
Yeah, and Laura right there was trying to get three runs in one swing. Took a big hack at that one.
The 1-2 misses just inside. Lure was stepping off of it before the call was even made, trying to at least sway the opinion just a little bit. As the count now runs even on 2-2. Scheppel's delivery, and swung on and missed. Every single pitch that Lure swung on was a fastball that ran inside, and Scheppel gets him chasing for the second out of the inning. So we'll see if the relief pays off for the Spinners, as 2 away now with Ivan Zambrano. He reached third in his last at bat after the left fielder Hunter Bryson lost the ball in the lights. Took advantage of the error out and left. Was able to account for a run, as that's a slow breaking pitch that sweeps across the plate for strike one.
Yeah, a really nice breaking pitch right there. That's the first time tonight we've seen a breaking pitch of that magnitude right there, and just worked out perfectly for him.
Look to try to go back to it again, but that one starts out too far in front of the plate, as that shifts Turner out of his stance and into the lefty's batter box. Count standing at 1-1 Copperheads line second and third. The 1-1 home is a called strike, as that nicely caught the top outer part of the zone.
Yeah, and Andy Schultz for the Copperheads and Davis Turner for the Spinners, both been very reliable behind the dish tonight.
The 1-2 swung on and missed, and Scheppel finds his footing as he strikes out back-to-back batters to leave two stranded, as the Copperheads still trail by 2 runs. We'll see if the Spinners can add some more insurance in the top of the 6th when we come back here from Cox Mill High School on the SCBL YouTube channel.
And welcome back here, as it is a 2-run ball game. Copperheads trail the Mooresville Spinners 6-4. As the first pitch of the inning will be low for a ball.
Jacob Shaw back out for his second inning of work for the Copperheads.
That one fouled off and just catches the screen. The count will run even 1-1. As we heard the game plan earlier from manager Sean Stevens, he was looking to Giacomo, then Shaw. Not too many pitchers after that. We'll see late game if this game's close, if he decides to bring another pitcher in or a position player, or he keeps Shaw the rest of this ball game. As that one goes for a ball, 2-1. One thing that's really key in that is they had the doubleheader last night against the Kings, but that really ran down their pitching rotation. Guys like Grayson Barger and Anthony Casiola, as that one popped up high into the infield. Jacob Shaw looking for it, and it will just drop as the Copperheads infield said, I don't want it, I don't want it, I don't want it. You take it, and nobody did. So that is a crucial mistake right there, and Shaw will have the first runner on.
That was peak 2018 Reds right there.
Yeah.
Peak 2018 Cincinnati Reds. Happened not once but twice in a game.
Hopefully that doesn't repeat here. 2022 Lake Norman Copperheads.
Man, I just went to a dark place mentally. I got to get back.
Really, you talk about any year for the Cincinnati Reds is kind of a dark place recently.
We had some runs in
2020.
I mean, 19 was getting better. 20 made the postseason. 21 wasn't bad, just barely missed. This year we're not going to talk about.
Yeah. Last 30 games we'll talk about.
Not bad.
Fastball misses a little bit outside. Just a very close miss by Jacob Shaw. Count will go to 2-0. I mean, you're a little older than me, so you experienced more playoff runs with Brandon Phelps and Zach Cozart and Joey Votto before I was really that much into baseball.
If you could call them playoff runs.
Playoff appearances. How about that?
You could call them that.
Yeah.
I guess that's some determination you can give them. I mean, losing to the Pirates in the wild card was something.
Yeah.
So I at least watched the game.
Yeah. That's something.
At least my Bengals are doing good, so. 3-0 from Shaw.
That one will be ball 4, so back-to-back pitches from Shaw just missed on that outside part of the zone.
That is the 4th walk of the night for Blake Jackson. I mean, that's one way to add to the on-base percentage.
Blake Jackson's going to be looking like Tony Gwynn at the end of this game with his on-base percentage.
The shortstop, Brandon Butterworth, now up for the Spinners. Looking to grab those insurance runs back as runners stand on second and first.
That one skied into center field. Kyrus Dawson will get her this baseball. Will the runner be going? He will. Kyrus Dawson fires down the third. Can he get him? He got him. What a great throw from Kyrus Dawson, showing off the cannon right there. And he said, you won't run on me. And that is a double play right there, and that's what Jacob Shaw needed. The runner right there that got out was the man who was lucky enough to get on base after that miscommunication in the infield. But I guess if you're Jacob Shaw, it's karma right there.
Your defense gave one back there. The outfield didn't have a chance to make the play in the infield, so Kyra said, let me just do it myself. Nice punch out for the double play, and now Blake Jackson is the lone base runner standing on second.
Shaw delivering that one is right down the middle. Up is James Henson, the big first baseman for Mooresville.
2 ground outs and a hit by pitch for Henson, however, an RBI in the mix.
Henson will watch that one go high for a ball.
Standing on deck if needed is the designated hitter, Tyler McPeak.
So McPeak is looming on the on-deck circle. Here comes the 1-1 pitch. That one will get past Andy Schultz, and he'll watch the runner go to third. So 2-1 count. And like we were saying earlier, not a lot of Lake Norman Copperheads home games in the last couple of days, but that's going to change very quickly as we have an abundance of home games at this end portion of the Lake Norman Copperheads season. So if you like Copperheads baseball, and especially at live streamed, you're in a good place for this next week. As that one goes for a strike. as we're excited to bring you those final couple of home games, potentially a home playoff game, and in that SCBL tournament, and maybe the home run derby out there at Moore Park.
Going to bring you all the action. Make sure to stay up to date on social media with SCBL Baseball on Twitter and Instagram for the latest on the live streams.
That one sky in the center field. Kyros Dawson getting his second action of the inning. And he will get the third out, so Jacob Shaw escapes the inning. Had runners on first and second with no outs. But gets out of a jam, and the Spinners put up 0 in the inning. Lake Norman looming 2 runs behind. And welcome back here as leading off the bottom of the 6th inning for the Lake Norman Copperheads is number 11, Kyle Whitaker. Excuse me. Kyle Whitaker leading off the inning. As he will swing and a miss right there for strike 1. As Whitaker, when he takes swings, he takes big swings, and we saw it right there.
Matt Scheppel back out for his first full inning of work for the Spinners. Was able to get them out of a runners on second and third jam in the last inning.
As Whitaker will foul that one off, and down in the count 0-2, as we was talking earlier, not so much luck when he gets down in the count, but a big opportunity here. Just get a runner on base and start a rally down by 2 right now. Here comes the 0-2 pitch to Whitaker. And the umpire will call time, so Scheppel will have to step back on the rubber.
And one thing to note about Scheppel is he takes a very long time collecting himself on the mound before delivering.
And that one just misses outside.
I know that's a pretty obvious thing to state, but at the same time, he's got almost the exact same routine every single time. He's almost does that little wag right there. He'll stand until he's ready, relaying the signs between Turner and himself, and then he'll kick and deliver as Whitaker fighting to stay alive, catching the end of the barrel.
Yeah, just poking out the bat right there and getting contact on it. And Sheppel's kind of a polar opposite for what Phoenix or Giacomo does. Giacomo, when he's in a rhythm, he likes to work very, very fast and mow down batters. And then Sheppel here, taking his time, making the batters think about it, what he's going to throw next, and trying to get in the head a little bit.
It'll be interesting to see with pitchers like Sheppel at the major league level how the pitch clock will come into play with that being implemented next year.
1-2 pitch from Sheppel. Whitaker will foul that one off, so the count will stay at 1-2.
And being somebody who works at the low A affiliate of the White Sox, the Kannapolis Cannonballers, with the pitch clock being implemented there, it's crazy how the speed of the game really changes when that guy on the mound only gets 20 seconds instead of 30 seconds, and how he has to quicken his delivery and make quick decisions on the go, especially when trying to determine a pitch between him and his catcher.
And Whitaker will strike out swinging, so Sheppel feeling it right now in this inning. One batter, 1 K.
3 straight Ks on the books for Sheppel as he ended last inning sitting down Lohr and Zambrano, both with the swinging strikeout.
And when you're talking about that pitch clock, it's setting at 20 seconds. Do you think the MLB will ever look to go down to 15, or do you think it'll stay at 20?
I don't believe so. I believe that it's normally run between 18 to 19 seconds is like the specific technical rule for it. But, I mean, it's sped up games so much that at Kannapolis, I mean, I think the longest game during the last homestand that we had was 2 hours and 30 minutes, and the quickest one we had was 1 hour 57. So these games are rolling by very fast. As Dawson now down to the count 0-1.
As that one popped up for out 2 in the inning, so Sheppel mowing him down quick. And you're talking about the longest game being 2 hours and 30 minutes. We see some games out here that are only 17 games in the doubleheader that are more than 2 hour 30 minutes. The game last night between the Kingsmen and the Copperheads, I was watching that on the Kingsman Baseball Network, and that game took almost 3 hours for only a 7-inning game. And they didn't get out of York, South Carolina until very late that night, especially the hour drive back up here to Lake Norman.
The shortstop, Ix Sereno, due up for the Copperheads as they look to make their way through the order for the 4th time.
Sereno sees that strike as he was ducking out of the way right there. The umpire says you should stay in the box. That's a strike. As we saw some surprise faces in the press box and down in the bleachers.
And the third base coach, Sean Stevens, over there had a few words that he muffled over towards the umpire after that. But either way, count remains at 0-1.
That one low. Count will go to 1-1. I doubt those words were words of encouragement to the umpire.
Probably not.
Saying that was a good call, huh?
You know, maybe instead of faulting our umpires, we should just give them support. Maybe they'll be able to make the right calls, you know? It's they're under a lot of pressure. I can't say that I could do their job.
Yeah. As the batter will step out. I feel like if call doesn't go your way, just say great call, ump, and maybe you'll be on his good side. How about that?
I feel like he'll take it as a sarcastic comment, and then you're on the bad side of him now.
1-1 pitch from Sheppel. That one lined down the third base line. And foul.
And that ball sliced heavily foul. Sereno got a good bit of bat on that one, but just too far to the left. As just like you guys on the screen, you can't see the left field corner or the right field corner. Neither can we. We're blocked by some dugouts over here, so we're all having the exact same viewing party here, whether you're joining us at Cox Mill High School or you're joining us here live on the SCBL YouTube channel. We thank you so much for tuning in and spending your Friday evening with us, as we hope that you've enjoyed, and it's been a very entertaining game so far as the Spinners look to keep their lead 6-4.
Sereno will foul that one off, so the 1-2 count will stay. 2 outs in the inning.
But going back to the topic of the pitch clock and just how much that impacts the game, I mean, the pitch clock would begin when the batter is ready, so the batter only has a specific amount of time out of the box. This is for anybody who doesn't know. And at that point, the pitcher has 18 or 19 seconds to deliver the pitch, and if it is not delivered in that time frame, it's an automatic ball.
And I feel like that can really change the dynamic of baseball game for certain pitchers. Some pitchers like to work quick, and then some pitchers like to take those whole 30 seconds. And sometimes, especially in longer games, as that one will be strike 3 looking. Nick Sereno goes down for out 3 in the inning. So we'll be back here at Cox Mill High School where the Spinners will try to extend their lead.
Welcome back to Cox Mill High School as we get things started in the top of the seventh inning, excuse me. As Jacob Shaw back on the mound for the Lake Norman Copperheads. No activity over in that bullpen. So Shaw, all the confidence in this managerial staff put into him. First pitch that he throws is a ball outside. As a big swing and a miss from our new batter, as it looks like we have a pinch hitter into the game.
One pitch from Shaw. That one misses low. He'll go to 2-1. I'm very interested to see how Shaw will work later in this ball game, his fatigue levels, and if manager Sean Stevens will say, "Hey, I'm gonna put another pitcher out there or a position player." As 2-1 pitch is high.
Excuse me. Designated hitter Tyler McPeak is up to bat. I couldn't read my own chicken scratch on my writing over here. As McPeak leading things off, the 4-5-6 due up for the Spinners as he watches 5 balls go by him. And he'll take his base down at first. The catcher, Davis Turner, now due up for the Spinners. Turner so far in this one has had a set of walks and a single. So sitting 1 for 1 in his afternoon.
Now batting to the Spinners, the catcher, number 1, Davis Turner.
As we'll have a little bit of a hang-up behind the plate as Andy Schultz having a quick conversation with our home plate umpire. As both of them will get their final words, and we will set to get things going for the second batter of the inning.
And it's been a very interesting officiating night on both sides. I'm not saying it's a bad officiating night, just very interesting calls both sides, not agreeing with some stuff that the umpires have had to say.
First pitch home is a ball that misses high. Shaw trying to pump the fastball in there on the first pitch, but misses just a little high on the catcher. So Turner's count moves 1 ball and no strikes. Shaw with a big nod in. Now he'll deliver to Schultz. That's a very high pop-up above the lights. Dawson calling for it. He'll come on and make the catch. So Kyrus Dawson retires the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up Jeremy Green, the extra hitter for the Spinners.
And Dawson has been lights out in center field tonight, just getting every ball, showing his speed. And it's been something that Phoenix Giacomo and Shaw can really rely on over there. See a pot fly over to center field, say, hey, my man has it, don't have to worry about it.
Green with an 0 for 3 stat line, looking to find his first hit of the ball game. Swing and a foul ball off the handle as that one ricochets off the backstop and over next to the Copperheads dugout. So the count will get started 0-1. Very nice turnout here tonight. As always with these Spinners fans as they line the bleachers over here to the left, and a lot of them bringing up their own chairs and sitting behind the screen. So I'd love to see a great turnout for a nice night of baseball, and that one's going to be a base hit over into the left center gap. Coming on to collect it will be Ivan Zambrano. And a walk in a single now result with runners standing on first and second. The Spinners now threatening here in the top of the 7th.
Yeah, the Spinners fan just got to stroll on in free tonight to the ballpark. Had some miscommunication between who was taking the tickets. Ended up being nobody. So, what is it normally, $6? I think $5, $6 to get in
Something
here?
like that, yeah. 5 or 6. So with Green's first hit of the night, that now brings up the second baseman, Steven Smith, and he'll swing on the first pitch he sees as Shaw blows that one by him. Count now 0-1.
And if you're willing to spend $5 or $6 on a baseball game, make sure to come out this upcoming week. Tons of baseball for you to watch, and just great quality baseball, summer baseball. As that one goes for a strike, and yeah, just kind of a different feel than a normal, minor league ballpark with the Knights or the Cannonballs. You don't have the show, but it's mostly just baseball. Kind of a mix between the college and the minor league feel, and then a high school feel as well.
It's also so much fun to watch some of these guys play because of the potential that they have and where they come from. I mean, a guy like Ian Askin who's preparing for the MLB draft, a lot of these guys who are being scouted and a lot who have scouts watching. So the future of our game is right here, and it's a fantastic opportunity to come out and watch it. The 1-2 home. Cut on and fouled off the screen over towards the right side.
And talking about Ian Askin, you don't see a guy every day that's 6'9", 6'10", and able to pump gas on the mound. And that's just a very rare sight you see in baseball. And it was super fun to watch him out on the mound, and hopefully, he can do very well in the next level of baseball.
Shaw looks home and will try the 1-2 once again. Breaking pitch swung on and missed. Think it got a piece of the handle, but Schultz wraps it up as that will be a strikeout for out number 2 as the Copperheads looking to strand those runners out on the base pass and keep a 2-run deficit. The left fielder, Hunter Bryson, now digs in for the Spinners. Started the game with a ground out, but has back-to-back RBI singles following that, so he sits 2 for 3 on the day. First pitch he sees is fouled off the screen down the first base line. So Bryson will dig back in, and Shaw sets for the 0-1. Take a look back towards second. He'll kick from the belt, as that one was a missed pick from Schultz, as the pass ball will advance the runners up to second and third, respectively. So now a really big situation for Bryson. If he could put one in play, the possibility of 2 coming across, and the Spinners looking to try to close the door on the Copperheads. The 1-1 home goes a bit high. So now 2 balls and 1 strike on Bryson. If needed, Dante DeFranco stands on deck, the third baseman batting in the 9 hole, as he hopes to have a chance to hit against Shaw. The 2-1 misses high and outside. And so you have an open base, but don't want to end up putting him there, as the 3-1 falls perfectly into place for the left fielder, Hunter Bryson. Spinner standing on third and second. The 3-1 home misses outside, and that's going to be ball 4. So Shaw issues another walk in the inning. And now the bases are loaded for the third baseman, Dante DeFranco. A walk and a pop out to his name so far.
Yeah, we are seeing Jacob Shaw some wear on his arm right now. Hoping to get out of this jam. No activity in that Copperheads bullpen. So we'll see where manager Sean Stevens goes from here.
First pitch to the new batter. Goes for a strike. Some cheering from our young fans in the audience. DeFranco looking to come up big for the Spinners. Looking to add some insurance run to that 2-run lead. The 0-1 is popped up over the screen. So now quickly down to their last strike are the Spinners in the top of the 7th.
And talking about all those young kids at the ballpark, it's such a great opportunity with the Copperheads having all those youth teams in the lower levels, being able to have those kids out here being bat boys and other such, and kind of an opportunity that not a lot of teams in the SCBL have.
Bases juiced, 2 outs. The 0-2 is popped up as it will stay in play, and the catch will be made by the first baseman, Jackson Taylor. So that ends the inning. The Spinners leave them loaded as the lead remains at 2. The Copperheads looking to strike back and come back on the Spinners when we come back in the bottom of the 7th here from Cox Mill High School.
You should just play some like really whack songs.
Welcome back to Cox Mill High School, as Zane was caught a little bit unprepared there as we get things started. The second baseman, Peyton Schubert, up for the Lake Norman Copperheads. 2-3-4 due up in a pivotal bottom of the 7th as Matt Scheppel back out for his second full inning of work. First pitch delivered home was showing bunt. Misses the barrel and ends up in the glove of Turner for a strike.
Yeah, Schubert, his first game in Lake Norman, we've seen him just kind of get adjusted to this infield later in the game, feeling more comfortable with himself at the plate and in the field.
The 0-1 quickly turns 0-2 as a nice two-seamer rings in for the second strike. So Schubert now trying to find a way out of this. 0-2. Swung on and put into center field, a base hit for Peyton Schubert. It'll be his first hit as a Lake Norman Copperhead, and what could be a big start to a rally that they need with the heart of the order up.
Yeah, Schubert had some wicked kind of curl on that one right there. That kind of looked like a golf shot, how the ball was just twisting in the air.
That's what you call going down and getting it.
Yeah.
So picks that one off the dirt and puts it into center field at the feet of Justin Fox. As now the third baseman, Luke Wood. First offering to Wood is a called strike, catching the bottom part of the zone. Scheppel's had very nice location on those first pitches. Was a little shaky early, but found his footing in the last 2 innings, as he has not allowed a Copperhead run to come across with him on the mound. The 0-1 home. It's a high fastball hacked on and sent down the screen down the first base line. It falls inside the dugout as those boys having fun with the ball, trying to throw it back in the field of play. However, the count at home sits 0-2. Scheppel, exact same situation that he had Schubert in. We'll see if he can finish it off. The 0-2 to Wood. Fastball misses high. Wood so far with a pop out, a single, and a hit by pitch in his trips to the plate. Reaching on his last 2 at-bats, he's looking to do the same thing here. Infield shaded fairly regularly. Hinson holding on. Schubert over at first. The 0-2 is a broken bat blooper that heads down to Hinson. They'll swing it to 1, and then they'll swing it to second for 1 and back to first for 2. As a double play retires both Copperheads looking to get on the base pass. And so now quickly 2 away for Andy Schultz.
Just super disappointing for the Copperheads. Get a runner on, no outs in the inning. Down a couple runs, needing those runs to get across home plate and just not having it.
3-6-1 double play in the books. It's the second double play for the Spinners tonight. The last one went 1-6-3. This one goes 3-6-1.
Yeah.
So unorthodox double plays from the Spinners, but nevertheless getting out of big situations as now Andy Schultz comes to bat with nobody on.
Yeah, certainly 2 double play combinations that you don't see every day.
Scheppel's 1-0 as that one misses the zone. Looked like a breaking pitch that was trying to work its way in, just didn't get enough movement on it, and the count now rings 2 balls and no strikes. 2 away in the inning as the 0-2 just misses on the outside part of the plate. It was a nice fastball from Scheppel, but he's dancing around the zone at the moment as the count sits 3-0. Schultz digs back in as he will send the 3-0 high into the air, but fouling out of play. That one will land over onto the batting cages and account for the first strike of the at-bat. So Schultz still has a pitch to play with here, as he sits in a prime hitter's count 3-1. 2 walks and a strikeout. And the 3-1 is a called strike 2. Our home plate umpire thought it was strike 3, however, is corrected by Davis Turner, the catcher, as well as Andy Schultz. So both catchers making sure that he knows, and the count now sits at full.
Copperheads dugout, let him hear it after that one.
It's a good job from Scheppel to find his way back in this count. Now they'll try the full count pitch, and that will go for ball 4. So Schultz finds his way on base after the unorthodox 2-strikeout.
And you know what that kind of remind me of is the New Mexico State game when the referee said that it was New Mexico State, not New Mexico, and the crowd let him hear it, and right there the dugout let him hear it for calling strike 3 on strike 2.
We all make mistakes.
Yeah. Copperheads think the umpires probably made a lot of mistakes tonight, how they've been reacting.
So a 2-out walk now leads to Jackson Taylor, the first baseman, heading to the dish. Taylor is 3 for 3 with 2 RBIs on the night, 2 singles and a double, as he has been seeing the ball very well. That's a 2-seamer that catches the inside part of the plate. And Scheppel's had good location here on the first 2, and the count now rings 0-2. Copperheads down to their last strike. Andy Schultz standing out on first. The 0-2 swung on and missed. A high fastball sits down Taylor. And Scheppel with back-to-back scoreless innings here. We'll see if the Spinners can grab any insurance runs in the top of the 8th when we come back from Cox Mill High School and Zane Metz.
And welcome back here. Jacob Shaw back on the rubber for Lake Norman. As we still have a 6-4 ball game. And that one be fouled off. Hit the umpire right in the mask. And Up's been having a rough night tonight, getting some words saying to him on both sides and then getting hit by the baseball right there. A 1 pitch from Shaw, that one in the dirt, and the count will go to 1-1. Bubba, how many pitches does Shaw have? As we can see, Shaw delivered that 1-1 and swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-2. Shaw obviously very tired on the mound, as both him and his pitching counterpart Phoenix Giacomo had to go late into their pitch counts. Shaw with the 1-2. That one fouled off into the screen.
This next pitch will be number 60.
60?
Yeah.
So Shaw will get the sign from Schultz, shake off 1. Next second one. Here comes pitch 60. In the dirt, count will go even 2-2. We have Reese joining the broadcast now.
Hello, David had to go to the bathroom, so I'm on the call now.
Yeah, filling in?
Yeah, a little bit.
2-2 pitch from Shaw. Swung on, fouled off. Count stays the same. As we just want to give a big shout out to Reese. Been behind the scenes really all season, learned the scoreboard from pretty much the ground up, joined us game 1, and has been a major help in the broadcast. And that one is looped over to the third base, and well, they fired over there for out 1 in the inning. A great play by Luke Wood, the third baseman, catching on the hop. But yeah, just a big thanks to Reese over there, just doing the scoreboard, helping out with the camera and changing out the batteries, and has been a very a great helping hand. And has really advanced the broadcast this year. We're happy to give you a much better broadcast than we were able to last season with more people.
Yeah, I should have like the title as designated battery changer.
Yeah.
I would love that. But yeah, thank you for the shout out. It's nice.
That one goes for a ball, so 1-0. As we have a young broadcast team here at Lake Norman. We have Reese going into his senior year of high school. We have Clay, currently a student at Cox Mill High School. David going into his sophomore year at App State, and then me going into my freshman year of high school. So a young crew here at Lake Norman, but excited to come in here night in, night out, and try to give our best for the broadcast. That one fouled off. And hopefully we'll be able to continue this for the rest of the summer and then in the summers beyond here.
I love to come back.
And there goes ball 4. So for the 5th time tonight, Blake Jackson has walked. That might be an SCBL record right there, 5 walks in one game.
No idea. I have no idea.
I feel like that has to be, man. There isn't a record books anywhere, but if there was, he'd be up there.
Shortstop, number 14, Brandon Butterworth.
And Brandon Butterworth up to the plate. I feel like Butterworth has to be in contention for best last name in the SCBL. I don't think I've heard one yet that is as good as Butterworth.
No, Butterworth is great. I've been kind of like saying to myself in the head, I can't believe it's not Butterworth, you know?
Yeah.
That like the little pun in there,
Yeah.
but you know, it is what it is. I love the last name Butterworth, man.
Yeah. If he makes a play at shortstop tonight, I'll throw that in just for you. How about that?
Thank you.
There comes the 1-0 pitch to Butterworth. He will sky that one in the center field. Kairos Dawson tracking back at the wall. And that one will be caught. Kairos Dawson will fire one into first. Will he get the runner? He won't. He'll slip under the glove of Jackson Taylor, and he'll get back to first. An error throw from Peyton Sherbert will go over to Jackson Taylor. Jackson Taylor does not be able to corral that baseball. And just an unfortunate play right there. That would have been out 3 in the inning.
Bubba, you rolling that in error?
So a great play by Kairos Dawson over there, showing that speed, getting over to the track in that right center field kind of gap, catching that baseball, firing it in to second base, and then second base firing over to first. Just unfortunate they can't get the third out of the innings. That would have been their Kairos Dawson's second double play that he's been involved in playing center field tonight. You don't get that very often. So James Henson steps back in.
Any double play from the outfield is a weird double play.
Yeah. Any double play they get in the outfielder is normally just showing off the arm of that outfielder. And the first one, Kairos Dawson firing that one over to third base as they were trying to tag up. He said, you were not going to do that. And that one right there, just such a long throw. No way he could have made it all the way to first base. Had to hit the cutoff right there. Just unfortunate the cutoff and the first baseman couldn't connect. As Shaw will miss that one just high. So Shaw will be down 2-0. 2 outs in the inning. And that runner lucky to be alive over there at first base. 2-0 pitch from Shaw. Oh, and that one just misses on the outside part of the plate. Andrew Schultz really just trying to frame that one, not able to. So Shaw will be down 3-0. Doesn't want to walk the powerful lefty James Henson. Tyler McPeak on deck right now for the Spinners. 3-0 pitch. And that'll be skied up over the screen and over the press box into the grassy area we have to the left. As it's just that this Cox Mill ballpark, just so many places to sit. Can sit in the bleachers, bring your own chair, have that little mound over there, bring a blanket, and sit down there, kind of reminiscent of the left field you have at the Kannapolis Cannonballer Stadium, where you can lay down a blanket and watch a baseball game. Same here at Cox Mill. Shaw delivered 3-1, and that one just misses outside for the second time in this at-bat, so he'll walk the batter. Runners at first and second base, 2 outs still in the inning. And up to the plate is tonight's DH for Mooresville, Tyler McPeak.
I'm still waiting on a foul ball to come back in here.
I mean, we've talked about it all season. I think
I
that
know.
one on the first night was the closest we've gotten all season.
Oh, yeah.
Because it was about maybe 5, 7 feet away to my left
Mm-hmm.
from getting in here.
It wasn't far at all.
No.
But, I mean, even to get a ball in here is a miracle.
Yeah. As that would be skied into right field. And that looks like it will be out 3 and inning it is. That one corralled by Jeremiah Guzman. And the Copperheads will stroll back into the dugout. Still down by 2. A lot of work to do here. We're back here in the bottom of the 8th inning at Cox Mill High School.
Welcome back as we get things started in the bottom of the 8th with Wilson Lohr heading up to bat. Lohr only his second at-bat of the game, replaced Jeremiah Guzman. So Lohr in his first appearance had a strikeout, as Sheppel has been phenomenal on the mound so far. Lohr trying to throw a bunt down the third base side, but that one's going to trickle foul. Had a bit too much steam on that one. So no balls and 1 strike, as the Copperheads need 2 in the next 2 innings to extend this one. Sheppel's delivery is swung on and missed, as we welcome Zane Metz back to the broadcast.
Happy to be back.
Take it away, Zane.
Here comes the 0-2 pitch from Sheppel. Trying to get that first out in the inning. And that will do it. Strikeout, down looking. And Wilson Lohr goes back to the dugout in disappointment watching that one go by. And the Copperheads are down on their final 5 outs of the ballgame.
Ivan Zambrano, the left fielder, due up for the Lake Norman Copperheads, has a couple of strikeouts as well as a pseudo triple. He reached third on an error by the left fielder Hunter Bryson as he lost the ball in the sky.
Sheppel delivers the first pitch of the AB. Swing and a miss in the dirt. And Sheppel just continues to jump on these hitters early and often. As that one will be fouled off, so Sheppel up the count 0-2. Oh, 2 pitch from Sheppel. Strike 3 again, so back-to-back Cage for Sheppel, both of them going down looking. And he's working through this inning very quickly as Kyle Whitaker will step on with 2 outs of the inning, no runners on, and try not to have the same fate as he had so far tonight. It's a couple strikeouts, and not the same fate as the first 2 batters in the inning.
Now batting DH number 13, Kyle Whitaker.
2 strikeouts and a fielder's choice that resulted in an RBI for Kyle Whitaker. As we got some shenanigans in the press box, and
Kind of an air raid
some
almost.
of my some of my employees need some talking to.
Yeah.
As that's going to be a base hit for Kyle Whitaker, a sliding effort out in center field by Justin Fox. Was able to keep him over at first.
Can you call them employees if they're unpaid?
Kind of.
Yeah?
I guess you can.
Yeah.
I mean, they do what I say, so
Yeah.
I guess you can call them employees.
Interns.
I mean, I guess interns.
That's a nice way to say it.
Yeah, just we'll say interns.
Yeah. Helpers.
Well, Kyrus Dawson now comes on in the 9-hole as he's 0 for 3 tonight, looking to find his first way on. As with 2 away and 1 on, Copperheads looking for a 2-out rally. Sheppel, however, trying to quell that as Dawson swings through a fastball on the first pitch, and the count moves 0-1.
Yeah, we've seen the Copperheads being able to get that guy on first base, but once that guy gets on first base, they just haven't been able to capitalize, if that being double plays or the 3rd out of the inning. And with only 4 outs to play with and having to get 2 runs to tie off this game, we're going to need some big hits late here by Dawson. And then up in the order next, Nick Chirino, and Luke Wood in the 3-hole, Andy Schultz in the 4-hole. This meat of the order coming up in the 8th inning and in the 9th inning, he's going to have to do some work here. Dawson down 0-2. That one misses outside, so the count will go to 1-2 as Dawson needs to get on base right here. Whitaker standing over there at first. Whitaker going. That one in the dirt, firing down to second base. That one will be over the head. Whitaker will not try to advance to third base, and that is a good idea as the Mooresville Spinners center fielder, Justin Fox was easy to collect that baseball. And now Whitaker in scoring position. Count goes even to 2-2. Kyrus Dawson now in a much favorable hitter's count, going from 0-2 to 2-2.
It's a great effort by Brandon Butterworth to try to use his hops to get up to that baseball, but just slipped off the top of his glove. Just a very, very high throw from Turner.
2-2 to Dawson. He goes down swinging, so 3 outs and 3 Ks in the inning. 2 looking and 1 swinging. So the Copperheads on their final 3 outs, and we're on our final inning of baseball here tonight at Cox Mill High School. Stick with us with David Katzenmeyer back on the call.
Welcome back as we get started for the top of the 9th here from Cox Mill High School. As the Spinners look to tack on a few more insurance runs, as they will see Jacob Shaw for the 5th full inning of work tonight. Through 4 complete innings, Shaw has given up 1 earned run through 65 pitches, 5 walks, and 1 strikeout, as the first pitch seen is hammered down the right field line, but foul.
I don't think Jacob Shaw wanted to see what was going to happen if that one stayed fair.
Davis Turner unloaded his hips onto that one, but just a bit too early for the Spinners catcher. As Shaw's next pitch misses outside, count evens up at 1-1. But just something to note, the Copperheads tonight in total have given up 14 walks.
That's like 8 or 9 too many, probably.
I mean, they've given up 14 walks and have still somehow found a way to stay in the ball game. 6-4, top 9.
And that comes with DeGiacomo. Early in the game, I think every inning that he ended out had 1 or 2 runners on, sometimes even 3.
When 5 of those walks went to Blake Jackson. As amidst control issues from Copperhead pitchers tonight, they still have a chance, however, have to get through the top half of the frame here. As a big hitters count here for the catcher, Davis Turner. The 3-1 is fouled off down the first base side, so both strikes have been accounted for by foul balls. And the count now runs full. Turner's been 2 of the 14 walks. Has a single and a pop-up. The 3-2. Another rocket down the third base side. And the first base coach getting angry with the batter, as it seems like a targeted attack at this point.
Well, the pitch before, he didn't get the ground ball, had to do some push-ups to make up for it, and right there almost took his head off.
So Shaw will try the payoff once again. And that breaking pitch slips just a bit too low, so another leadoff walk makes 15 in the game for Lake Norman. As that now brings up the extra hitter, Jeremy Green.
And that's very uncharacteristic from this Lake Norman rotation so far this year. They've been lights out really all season in every home game and every game in general, limiting the walks. But tonight they just control issues, having to get out of big situations. They have, and it's very surprising it's only a 2-run ball game right now.
Green, one of the guys in the lineup that has not found himself a walk so far. He's 1 for 4, picking up a single in the last inning. So the 0-1 runner will go. Throw down to second will be in time. Great throw from Andy Schultz to gun down Davis Turner. As now 1 away in the inning, the leadoff man heads back to the dugout. And the count sits at 1-1 as Green takes some time and reset.
I think they might be calling batter interference possibly here, as we see the runner strolling back to first base and the batter being called out.
Interesting.
I feel like if you're the Copperheads right there, you say, I don't want the batter interference, I want the runner to be out.
So either way, so batter will be out. We'll reset the count. Davis Turner will head back to first base, and we will now have the second baseman, Steven Smith, up to bat. First pitch on Smith is popped up over the screen, over the press box, as a couple kids go back to chase it. Smith so far today has an infield single, a sacrifice fly for an RBI, a ground out, and a strikeout. So a long look back over to first, as he'll now deliver the 0-1, and that pitch is upstairs. Count evens at 1-1.
In a very interesting situation for the Copperheads, you want the runner to be out, and Andrew Schultz had a great throw down there to get him out, but the rules are rules.
The 1-1 sent over the screen back towards the softball field. His back-to-back foul balls now account for a 1-2 count.
Almost identical foul balls right there, going
know.
to practically the same place.
Couple souvenirs for the kids. So Shaw waves 3 pitches off before selecting one. And they'll fire home, and a fastball high gets a swing and a miss out of Steven Smith. That'll be the 6th strikeout of the day for the Lake Norman Copperheads, and now 2 away with 1 on as they look to keep the deficit at 2.
If you're trying to channel your inner Zach Campbell out here, how many baseballs do you think you can get over the course of a game?
Out here?
Double digits?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
These kids have nothing on me.
Yeah.
Twice their size. We're going to run faster than them.
You willing to push them out of the way for a foul ball?
I'll do what I have to do.
Yeah. Worst comes to worst.
I mean, nothing's off the table.
Yeah.
So
It's all situational, really.
it's all situational, you know. The 0-1 home gets under the glove of Schultz, so easily moving up will be Turner to second base. So he finds a way to stand on second at some point during this inning. So now another spinner will be in scoring position. The question is, can Hunter Bryson bring him home? They've had a lot of guys in scoring position tonight and have been ineffective in the last 3 innings to bring any across, as that was a big wave from Bryson. He now finds himself down to his last strike.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting to see that left on base stat for the spinners tonight. I have to imagine double digits.
The 1-2 from Shaw. Swing and a miss on a fastball down low. It'll be a foul tip caught by Schultz. And once again, another runner stranded for Mooresville. We will head to the bottom of the 9th, as it'll be the last call for the Lake Norman Copperheads. They trail by 2. We'll see if they can make up the deficit when we come right back from Cox Mill High School. Welcome back as we get set to start the bottom of the 9th inning, as it's the last call for the Lake Norman Copperheads, and they'll have the 1, 2, 3 batters up in the order. Leading things off will be number 4, the shortstop, Ick Sereno. New pitcher on the mound will be Garrett Sutton. Sutton so far this year with a 0-0 record and a 4.5 ERA across 6 games, 8 innings pitched, 10 strikeouts, 2 walks, and 11 hits with 2 saves to his name. He's looking to come up with another one here as the first pitch home to Sereno is waved on and missed.
When you look at it from both sides, Copperheads, you have your guys that you want up 1, 2, 3, start of your order to try to get back in this ball game. If you're the Spinners, you have a dude that already has 2 saves on the season, already have confidence in him, can close out ball games, trying to make it number 3 right here.
The 0-1 home is under the glove of Davis Turner, so the count will even up at 1 ball and 1 strike. Due up for the Copperheads will be the second baseman Peyton Schubert as he stands on deck, and the third baseman Luke Wood. So those are the 3 slated to have a chance in the bottom of the 9th. Sereno, a single, a walk, a pop-out, and a strikeout looking so far in this one. Looking to get a rally started as he swings and misses on another pitch. Looking to make contact against our new hitter, new pitcher, Garrett Sutton. So Sereno going to take his time. Do a little trot behind the batter's box before digging back in, getting set. Long time for Sutton to wait up on the mound. He'll give the nod to Turner and a deep breath as he'll deliver the 1-2, and that one's in the dirt outside. So a 2-2 count now. Everybody in the infield shaded on the edge of the outfield grass. DeFranco, the only one, has a little bit of dirt behind him down at the hot corner. The 2-2 swung on and fouled off against the screen. So Sereno selecting his pitches and fighting to stay alive.
Yeah, Sereno being very stubborn right there at the plate, just waiting for a good pitch to hit. And you've seen that from a lot of Copperheads batters tonight, just batting off pitches, batting off pitches. Sometimes it's worked out with hits, and sometimes it's worked out with Ks.
3 hours and 23 minutes this one's been going on for so far. So it's been a long ball game, but it's been a good one. We thank you for tuning in with us. The 2-2, another foul ball from Sereno, so he's making Garrett Sutton work, seeing his first batter of the at-bat, and of the bottom of the 9th, excuse me, and it's only going to get harder with Schubert and Woods standing on deck and in the hole.
Definitely one of the it's been a low-scoring game, but definitely one of the longer games we've had here at Cox Mill High School. That's just the amount of left-on-base people we've had on both sides, really.
We'll try the 2-2 once again. Sutton gets the nod, sends it home, and that'll be a strikeout for Garrett Sutton. Copperheads now down to their last 2 outs as Peyton Schubert will dig in and try to find a way to get on base. He had his first single as a Copperhead in his last at-bat. Prior to that, he had a ground into a double play, a walk, and a strikeout.
And Lake Norman's going to have their new man come up big right here, get on base. And with him getting on base, we would have the batter being the tying run. So that changes the ball game. One swing of the bat can really change the ball game if he gets on.
And with 2 new guys, one standing in and one standing on deck, it's one way to earn the respect of your teammates coming up big in a situation like this. Sutton delivers the 1-0 home, and that'll be an off-speed that catches a piece of the plate. So a called strike brings the count to 1-1.
One thing I want to talk about these 2 new guys is just how well they've gelled into this team, this whole team as a whole. Just really good friends with each other and has been able to gel so well together this summer.
Thought about swinging on a ball in the dirt, ends up holding off, so Schubert draws the second ball of the at-bat. So now sits with a 2-1 count.
And you can really tell a lot of these dudes are having a lot of fun in the dugout every game, making lots of noise, cheering on their teammates over there.
And that's how it should be with summer ball. I mean, that's how it is in that Spinners dugout, too. Those guys look like they're having a hoot every single night they go out. Big swing on a fastball towards the bottom part of the zone. So down to his last strike now is Schubert as the count evens up at 2-2.
Yeah, Schubert looking for some off speed right there. Saw the fastball late on it. And by the time he was swinging, the ball was already in the mitt of the catcher.
Big pitch here from Sutton. Reddy's at the belt. He'll kick home, and that's a foul ball off the screen down the third base side. So Schubert finding a way to fight and stay alive. We've had no runs scored in this ball game since the 5th inning. Pitchers have really settled into their roles. Sutton home with the 2-2. That one's going to be put into play. However, right under it will be Hunter Bryson, and he will reach up and make the second out of the inning. So now the Copperheads down to one final out as Luke Wood is the last hope for the guys in red.
And I want to say never with this Lake Norman Ball Club. If you remember that Statesville Owl game, it looked like they were down and out in that 9th inning. Made that almost miraculous comeback 3-run home run from Kyle Whitaker, only losing by 1 run. So this team knows how to battle back late in games, and that's going to show later in the season and in the tournament as well.
Luke Wood, a pop out, a hit by pitch in, a single. First one he sees is put on the ground over towards the third baseman, DeFranco. He'll fire over to Hinson at first, and that will be in time. The Spinners win it 6-4 as they come in to Cox Mill High School and take one away from the Lake Norman Copperheads. The Spinners now move to 14-5, and the Copperheads fall to 10-9 on the season. The Spinners advance their lead in the standings as they are the team to beat right now in the SCBL. Thank you so much for joining us here on this fantastic Friday evening, as we hope you enjoyed the game just as much as we did. Once again, the Spinners win it over the Copperheads 6-4. As for myself, David Katzenmeyer, Zane Metz, Reese Clay, and the rest of the crew up here in the press box, we thank you so much for joining us here, and we hope you have a fantastic night.